Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic stream. Thank you so much for joining me for this stream. And yeah, we've got an exciting one to look forward to, the Suns and the Clippers. This time we're going to be in Los Angeles for this game. As the Suns, they're welcoming back Chris Paul, who missed game 1 and 2 due to COVID restrictions in terms of their protocol. And so, but it's good to see that he's going to be back. Excited to see how he's going to be. Obviously, Devin Booker has been holding it down for the Suns. Him and Aiden Davis was a fantastic 1-2 punch in game one and game two. And what a finish game two was, especially to see the Phoenix Suns come up with a nearly impossible lob in off the inbound at the end of the game. I mean, that was absolutely a fantastic play and the way that they came up big. But you cannot forget what happened with Paul George after the outstanding game that he was having. To come up at the free throw line and to miss those free throws like he did, that it's on his mind to go out here and perform. I mean, he's been playing absolutely out of his mind in the playoffs. Matter of fact, I believe he has like 7 straight games of 25-plus points. And so he's certainly someone that is going to be holding that loss. He feels like that's on him, and he wants to do everything in his will to help this team win this game. I mean, the Clippers, they respond extremely well when they're down and their backs against the wall. And so when you're facing a potential down 0-3, you certainly feel that pressure. And so I fully expect that the Clippers are going to come out firing in this one. And so it's going to be extremely difficult for the Suns to win this one. But it's really going to come down to CP3 in this one. Can Chris Paul go out there and make the impact to help this team on the road? Are we going to see the same Chris Paul that we saw prior to him missing on the last couple of games? Because what we saw out of him was absolutely fantastic. I believe he had 37 points in his last outing, and he was just really seemed like he was coming in the zone. And so we've seen other players not really look the same after coming back from the COVID protocol. And so we're going to see if Chris Paul is still able to make an impact. But, man, we have an exciting one in this one. And so we've got Malik back in the house. Thank you so much for joining the stream, Malik. Appreciate you being here. How's it going? Hope everything is going well. Yes, this is going to be a fantastic game. I fully expect that Paul George and company, that they're going to come out trying to really take control of this game, with it being at LA, their backs against the wall. And they've just been absolutely fantastic at responding throughout this playoffs. It seems like a lot of these teams, they really just, how can I put it? It seems like for the Clippers, they love going down early in the series and then storming back, especially once they get back on their home court or something like that, and just powering through. That seems to be how they do. But with the Phoenix Suns and the return of Chris Paul, I mean, we all know what Devin Booker's going to bring to the table. It's going to be absolutely outstanding and fun to watch. I mean, obviously, you see he's got the mask on, so I hope that mask doesn't irritate him. But that's something that's extremely small right there. So let's see. You're absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome, of course. Let's see. You say D-Book's going to go off? I absolutely believe that he will as well. And he's going to have to go off in this one. I think in this game, since CP3's back, assuming that CP3 still looks the same way that he did prior to having to take game 1 and 2 off, I say that, expect about a good 30, I'd say about a good 32 to 35 points from Booker in this one. But certainly, I feel with having CP3 back, that's going to help keep Booker at that, no more than 3 turnovers at max, I'm thinking, range. Certainly having CP3 back out there, that's going to be big. But, I mean, we can't deny, though. I mean, he did get a lot of help in CP3's absence. Payne was absolutely outstanding. And Aiden, he was big, too. So I really like what I saw from these Suns there. But certainly know that the Clippers, that they're going to respond extremely well. They feel like they should have won that last one, and it was absolutely came down to literally, I would say the last second, but heck, it went beyond the last second. We were still glued to our TVs trying to see, are they going to change this? Did this really just happen? And so game 2 was absolutely outstanding. So I hope that game 3 can follow suit. I'm hoping for an extremely good one, but I would like to see the Phoenix Suns win this one. That is who I'm rooting for. Let's see, Malik says CP3 definitely going to be handling passes the whole game. Absolutely agree. He will definitely make an impact. Yes, and I think that's going to be the reason why the Phoenix Suns win on the road today because I felt like if he wasn't going to play, then I feel like the Clippers would at least win this one. But with CP3 coming back and he saw how they played, and quite honestly, CP3 hasn't got to play a lot of these games late in the playoffs. So for him, he's still itching to go out there and make sure that they don't mess around in this one. He wants to go out there and make sure that they secure this one, take that commanding 3-0 lead that nobody ever comes back from with that being down 3-0. So if the Suns can come out and just take this game on the road and take that 3-0, then we'll at least know which team's going to represent the Western Conference. That is for sure. And me personally, as a Lakers fan, I'd love nothing more than to see the Clippers lose. That would absolutely make my day. So I'm certainly rooting for that. But at the same time, I feel equally as strong about wanting to see CP3 get that chip. I'm rooting hard for the Suns. I also feel the same way about the Atlanta Hawks in terms of just seeing them be successful because I know the city of Atlanta's been through so much. So I'm definitely rooting for those two teams. I've got no problem with Milwaukee. If they end up being a team that represents the Eastern Conference, I'm happy for them as well. But I really want to see the Clippers lose. That is what I really want to see. But yeah, I expect that this is going to be a very good one from start to finish, just like last time. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so my question, since I've started asking these questions of the day, here goes my first question of the day. Which sport do you feel has the best athletes? And also why, if you care to elaborate. But yeah, which sport do you feel has the best athletes? For me personally, I think it comes down to honestly basketball players. Just obviously they generally have good height across the board, but when you look at the worst athletes across each sport, for me, I feel like the NBA has perhaps the better worst athletes in terms of just what they're able to do from just athletic standpoint. Because in football, there's linemen, so I feel like you can get away with a couple of them maybe not being in the best of shape. Same with baseball in terms of just not being in the best of shape. But I feel like across the board, it has to be basketball. But if you've got a different opinion or agree, definitely let me know. Again, that question is, which sport do you feel has the best athletes? Meanwhile, we will get ready for this tip-off soon. What a game. These playoffs have been absolutely fantastic. I am not going to kid you. Like, every single game just seems to be better and better, and I'm excited for both of these matchups. Like, oh man, we've just got some really good ones, and it's really good to see because I feel like we're seeing some new faces here. Obviously, with Booker on the rise, that's absolutely huge. And then with Atlanta, Trae Young and company, that's just fun to watch. And then to see Giannis finally beat a team like Brooklyn, that's huge for him and his resume. Excited to see how far he can go. But man, that is absolutely it. All right, let's see what Malik says for the question of the day. Let's see. He says probably football because of the speed. You have so many players who are running a 4.3 to 4.4 40-yard dash, but I do believe NBA has some of the best athletes in the world. Absolutely. If I had to pick second after the NBA, I definitely would have went NFL there. And yeah, I feel like when it comes to the best of the best and just the constant contact they're taking, all the training that they have to go through. Yeah, I feel like at the top of the sport, yeah, certainly I'd go NFL there. But that's really hard because it depends on what you value more constantly because NFL players, you do get to rest when like in the other units out there. There's not very many guys I can think of that's playing, two ways out there, offense and defense. You get to rest at some point. But if you're out there in the NBA, you're probably running. Your stamina has to be like A1, especially if you're going to make a real impact. Especially if you're a key player, star player, yeah, you've got to keep that stamina up there. But certainly a great answer there with football. That is for sure. I actually played both football and basketball at the high school level. Definitely, I'll say when it came to basketball, it depends because during football season, football practice was absolutely rough. Absolutely hated that. But there was something about basketball, especially since it started around Thanksgiving, and then you just go out there and running all those sprints. Your rest of your family's out there eating turkey and stuff. You have a decent Thanksgiving meal, and oh man, having to run that down. Oh man, I feel for those who have to run track though. That is absolutely tough unless it's something that you just really enjoy doing. That's a lot of energy you're expending there. But certainly you can make a case for both sports, certainly in terms of football and basketball. Yep, right there with you. Absolutely. But yeah, this game is going to be a nice one, and I can't wait to see. I mean, just having CP3 back out there just gives me that sense of like, okay, I like the Suns' chances in this one. I really feel that they have the pieces in place, and it feels like it's really their time. Just when you're able to win games like they did in game two, that does so much for you as a team. You know, you start believing anything is possible. You're never out of the game. You know, the chemistry, the way they pass the ball, they believe in each other. You know, they set each other up and they want to see each other succeed out there. And that's absolutely wonderful as a team. You know, and on the Clippers end, they did so well, you know, absolutely so well. And honestly, we're all going to remember Paul George at the free throw line going 0 for 2 and basically choking on the biggest stage possible. But with that being said, though, I mean, he played absolutely outstanding prior to that. And these Clippers, you know, seeing what Reggie Jackson does when he gets going, he feels like he can pretty much get his shot whenever he wants to. And you know, Reggie, if he sees a shot, he's going to take the shot. And so these Clippers, they don't back down from anybody, you know. So obviously this is going to be a good one. Patrick Beverly, he seems to be doing I'm not going to say a good job against Booker, but he's doing okay to where, you know, it makes sense for him to continue to guard him. But I tell you what, though, I mean, the way he headbutted Booker on that one, that had to remind you of that whole Steve Nash incident years ago. Let's see. We've got a prediction here. Okay. We've got Suns 125, Clippers 120. I like it. I absolutely like it. I think if I had to put a prediction out there, I probably would go Suns 128, Clippers 124. That's probably what I would go. I think it's going to be an absolutely high scoring game. I mean, we are talking about down there in LA, and they know what this means. If they lose this one, they're going down 0-3. So you best believe these boys are going to come out and give it everything they got. And so we're going to need a stellar performance, you know, absolutely fantastic performance from both CP3 and Booker in this one. And you know that's exactly what we're going to get. Exactly what we're going to get. It's predicting Chris Paul is back, so I'm going to make it a high scoring game. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, even if we have to go to overtime, you know, that might come into play as well. And so, with some of the keys that's going to come into this one, you cannot give a team second chance points because both of these teams do an excellent job. Especially if you give them a second chance, you know, in terms of scoring, getting quality shots. And so, in a game like this, you got to make sure you secure the boards. You know, fouls early on. You don't want to be that person that gets into foul trouble. So certainly that's going to be huge. And obviously, when you get your free throws, knock them down. I mean, I was impressed by Giannis yesterday when it came to him actually making a good amount of free throws compared to what he usually does. And so I couldn't help but think about Paul George in that scenario when I saw Giannis up there. And I was like, even Giannis knows what to do when he gets to the free throw line late in the game. But that's a completely different story there. But yeah, this is going to be an absolutely great one right here. So glad to see CP3 back. I just hope that they manage his minutes correctly. Like, I'm not sure, you know, like how much time he actually got to actually, you know, do perhaps the bicycle and stuff during his time off, you know, because I'm not sure the actual details as to, you know, was it just he was in close proximity to someone? You know, did he actually experience it? I don't know what that scenario was, but definitely having CP3 back is a huge flex. That is for sure. So got a feeling Beverly is going to foul out. Guarding D-Book is going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult, and he's certainly that person who's all up in your face every single time. I mean, it's just something about the way he plays defense to where you have to admire, but at the same time, it's annoying, I feel, at the same time when you watch it, and especially if I was Booker and he's just constantly in your face like that. But at the same time, if they can get him fouled out, that certainly would make things a lot easier. But, hey, now that we've got CP3 back, you know, wonderful. You know, and then Payne's going off too. Hey, this is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So excited to see this one. Again, this is a huge game 3 because if the Suns can win this one, then the Suns, oh my gosh, they really would just have so much control in this series. Absolutely so much control. But if the Clippers were to win this, then you know the Clippers would get a lot of confidence back because they've pretty much been doing this the entire playoffs, basically. You get down, but then you storm back. And so they are certainly a team that fully understands, you know, like just because they're down 0-2, they still fully believe that this is, within grasp for them. And so this is going to be a great one. Both teams are going to come out, and they're going to come out extremely aggressive. So excited for that. All right, I've got another question while we wait for tip off. Okay, so my question is, which NBA, I should add NBA arena, is your favorite that you visited? I added visited, but it doesn't have to be one that you visited. It could be one that perhaps you've seen close up and you're like, oh, wow, like this is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. For me, it has to be Amway Center down there in Orlando. I mean, I've actually got to visit there on a job interview, like back when I was in grad school, and I was like, wow, this is absolutely fantastic. Really loved their whole like food section. It was absolutely amazing, and so that really caught my attention. Let's see. You say, do you think that Kawhi would leave LA if they lost this series? As a Knicks fan, I would hope he would come to the Big Apple. I will say this though, I did see an article earlier in which I posted about on my channel in terms of talking about Kawhi and the potential of. I mean, it seems like honestly, if I had to throw a like prediction out there, I say there's a 60%, between 50-60% chance that he stays. So obviously that leans in that direction, but I think he's the kind of person that's really going to take his time and just really think about every scenario. For me, I think his best fit is with the Miami Heat, but I did see the New York Knicks listed as one of the four teams potentially that he would, that would make him. And so I could certainly see that as a possibility. Obviously, they've got some really good pieces in place, and so. And when it comes to someone like Kawhi, he's all about his brand. And, you can't get very many better places to build your brand than at New York. So I feel. And we have the tip off that's began. You said Madison Square Garden. I feel you. Hey, it's beautiful. What would look a lot better is seeing New York constantly in the playoffs. Let's make that a normal thing each year now, not just a 1 year thing. I want to always see them in the playoffs because the playoffs are just that much more better when you have the Knicks in the playoffs, I believe. And so right now, right off the bat, we've got a pair of free throws here. And the Suns hit their first basket. CP3 out there. And this is going to be a game. These Clipper fans, they look ready. All right, we're tied up 2-2 early in the first. And Chris Paul's bringing it up. And Chris Paul immediately gets a shot up. No good. I like the confidence, though. Beverly has it up top. He pulls the three. No good. Aiden with rebound. CP3 has it. Nice pass back. Crowder for three. No good. Clippers with the rebound. And George, he goes inside, kicks it out. Beverly again up top. And he gets that one to fall. Clippers up 5-2. And right now the Clippers are up 5-2. You say for sure, yes, definitely. I like it because I was so excited to see the Knicks in the playoffs. I know I've been rooting for Atlanta lately, but in that series, I couldn't make up my mind who to root for. So I was just hoping that we have a great series. Whoever won, that's pretty much who I was rooting for. So absolutely. All right, definitely. I'll be here throughout the duration of the game. So looking forward to seeing you back. And right now the Clippers are up 5-2. Reggie Jackson's at the free throw line. He shoots the first. No good. And again, the Phoenix Suns lead this series 2-0. And game two was a thriller. Came down literally to the wire. And Jackson shoots the second free throw, gets that one to fall. 1 for 2 at the line. Clippers up 6-2. Chris Paul has it, bringing it up. He passes it, gets it back. Kicks it out to Crowder for three. Nice three. Okay, absolutely. Hits that one while falling and hitting the ground. And so the Suns, they've got to play that defense. Paul George shoots the three. No good. And George has had 7 straight games of 25 points at least. And so certainly someone that's had a tremendous impact since Kawhi's went down especially. Jackson has it. He can get his shot. He shoots that three, and it's good. You got to guard Jackson and not let him take that shot because that's exactly what he's looking to do. Crowder in the corner for three, and it's good. Crowder's feeling it from downtown for the Suns. And right now, it is 9-8. Clippers up by 1. Clippers have the ball up top. And Jackson directing traffic. He's moving. And you know he's looking to shoot when he gets that close in. Kicks it out to Beverly. Beverly throws one up. No good. Suns with the rebound. Booker not paying attention, loses it. Nice steal by Beverly there. He's got it up top. And George, he pulls the three. He gets that to fall. Okay, these Clippers are being extremely aggressive at the three-point line right now. They're up 12-8. Chris Paul has it. Kicks it to Crowder in the corner. Crowder drives, and they lose it. Paul George has it. Excellent passing by the Clippers. And nice spacing. They have made it a mission to come out and attack from downtown. Chris Paul doing work, puts the shot up. No good, doesn't hit rim. Now, we have seen some players that have come back from COVID. Obviously, we don't know if Chris Paul actually had it or if it was just a protocol because he was in close contact of it. But we've seen quite a few players that have missed time because of COVID and come back and not be the same. So we're certainly going to keep an eye on CP3 and see if that's the case. But the Clippers, Paul George hitting that one. And so you have to know that Paul George is going to come out looking to respond in this one. Booker gives it to Aiden. Nice finish and one. Absolutely fantastic there. And good look by Booker on that one. The way he was able to penetrate the lane, draw the defenders, and then pass it and get Aiden that running start to finish at the basket. Aiden misses that free throw. It's a 4-point game, 14-10. Here in the first, Reggie Jackson's got it up top. Beverly has it. And George is being aggressive, trying to call for the ball. CP3 hits the ground. Shot goes in and out. Suns with the rebound. Chris Paul gives a nice dish to Aiden down there. And Aiden does a fantastic job of just moving without the basketball and getting good position. Oh, man, they're letting these guys play out there. Guys are hitting the floor left and right. But the Clippers get their offensive rebound. You can't let that happen. And there's a foul. Yeah, you cannot let second chance points happen out there. You just cannot do it. Let's see. Mariah says, I have zero clue what's going on. I'm learning new stuff. Hey, that's what I'm here for, to do my best to try to explain what's going on. But, hey, there's some good stuff out there. I will say that. But certainly appreciate you joining the stream, and thank you for joining the chat. Absolutely. And right now, the Clippers are up by 2, 14-12. And Booker, he's wearing a mask due to his previous encounter with Beverly last game, which had his nose really looking messed up. So definitely understand why he's wearing that. And that's going to be a personal foul against Crowder. Clippers will be shooting free throws. It's important that these Suns get Devin Booker going early in this one. Zubac shoots. He makes the first free throw. Clippers now up by 3. As we're just about halfway through the first quarter. Zubac is the second one to fall. Clippers up by 4. They're already in the bonus. Aiden has it up top. Booker, he has it. Kicks it to the corner for 3. And that's good. Nice response there by the Suns. A 1-point game with the Clippers up 16-15. Zubac has it up top. And Jackson has it. He's always looking for his shot. He pulls it, and it's good, just like that. He's an extremely confident shooter. Booker has it. It's about time he gets going in this one. And that's a turnover. That's going to be Clippers basketball. Or at least it looks that way. Yeah, Booker's got to do a better job of protecting the rock in this one. Absolutely has to do a better job. But what a game so far in this one. I mean, the Clippers, they've came out extremely aggressive, attacking from the three-point line so far in this one. But the Phoenix Suns, they've done a great job of answering back. And right now we have an 18-15 game with 6 minutes and 26 seconds to remain here in the first quarter. I mean, for the Suns, I mean, Crowder, he's been pretty big from downtown, going 2 for 3 with 6 points early in this one. Aiden, he's got 6 points. He does a tremendous job of just following up and attacking the basket. And his teammates do a good job of positioning him to catch the ball with momentum to finish at the rim. So they've done an excellent job with that so far. You know, Chris Paul and his return, it's been absolutely fantastic. And then when it comes to the Clippers, I mean, Zubac's got 4. Reggie Jackson, he's got 6 points. Reggie has been absolutely huge in the playoffs. He shoots with extreme confidence. He's always looking for a shot. That's just been something that he's been doing throughout his entire career. And so he's someone that he's going to pull up. He's going to take his shot. And lately, like when I watch him shoot, I'm like, this guy plays with such confidence on offense. This is like he was born to do this. Paul George, he's not going to forget everybody talking about him last game. I mean, the man's been pretty much, out there balling ever since, really since Kawhi went down. He really stepped it up another level. But he looks a lot different in this playoff than he did last year, for sure. And so right now the Clippers are up by 3, but both teams are just getting warmed up in this one. Let's see. Malik says Booker definitely, as you said, has to do a better job of keeping the ball offensively. Yes, because I noticed that Beverly's doing a fantastic job of every time he catches Booker not looking, he's coming from behind. And Beverly's the kind of annoying offender that can do that kind of stuff, reach in and grab the ball from behind where you're not looking. So he's got to be alert out there and play smart out there, because one thing that can kill a team is turnovers, and you cannot go out there and turn the ball over, especially against this Clippers team in LA. You just cannot do it. Can't do it. But so far, this has been an absolutely great game. I love how both teams move the ball around. They pass the ball well. Right now, we still got to wait for, obviously, Chris Paul to get going. That's definitely someone I'm going to be monitoring for the rest of this game, just to see how he does, because I really need to see how effective he is, post this whole protocol sitting out, because that's going to be something that's huge for this team. If he can come back and pick up where he left off, or if he has to go back to and start back over in terms of just getting his footing under him with his shots and stuff. So that's certainly something that's going to be huge. But one thing I have seen, his passing is definitely still good. He's got 3 assists in this one, so he's still out there passing like the CP3 that we know. That is for sure. Absolutely fantastic. My next question is, which NBA team is your least favorite team? Yeah, for me, in terms of my least favorite team in the NBA, I would have to say, honestly, as a Lakers fan, it's got to be the Clippers. I mean, they are perhaps my least favorite team. It's just something about them Clippers. It's definitely the Clippers for me. Absolutely. Malik, you are taking my second best answers for like everything here. Like the Brooklyn Nets, I feel you, but that obviously that has a lot to do with their team that they put together here. But I'm with you on that one. This season, I would say Nets, but year after year, for me, it's constantly those Clippers. I mean, they feel like the little brother that always just constantly talking smack about the Lakers, despite the success that we've had, and so they haven't even done anything and they're still talking smacks. Definitely, I feel that. So, most definitely. But I certainly understand your pain there. And right now, we're back in action. Got the Suns inbounding. CP3 gives it in. Need to see Booker start getting some points here. Kicks it out for three. No good. Nice rebound by Aiden. Would have been nice if he could have got that to fall. Beverly has it. Clippers have been absolutely looking for their shot outside in this one. They've got great spacing. Everybody's cleared the lane out. Good rebound by the Suns. Booker, he passes it to Aiden. Nice shot by Aiden there. Booker kind of just threw that one up, honestly. But Aiden did a fantastic job of coming away with that one and putting up a quality shot and getting at the ball. Jackson's got it up top. Got to keep your eyes on him. And Paul George, I love the way that he's just being aggressive towards the ball. He took that shot. Yeah, he is looking for his shot. Now, sometimes he comes out with that aggression in the second half, but he's coming out there. And CP3, he nearly loses it, but gets it back. And he puts a shot up. No good. Yeah, he still has to get his shot back. But I'm okay with that. I am more than okay with that. Shoot your way back in it. And Jackson gets that to fall. It's a 3-point game. Again, the Clippers, they are in the bonus. Right now, Booker has it up top. He puts it up. No good. And George has it. Guarded by Crowder. And George for the wide open three. No good. Booker with the rebound, but Crowder is still on the floor. Holding his jaw. Oh, man. This has been an extremely physical series here. And as we watch the replay here, let's see what happens. Yep, George got him with that elbow. I guess that's the Clippers' game plan in this one. They seem like the kind of team that would aim to do that. I mean, last game, it was Booker. Now Crowder. And we have ourselves a 3-point game as they check on Crowder on the sideline. And so far in this one, though, for the Clippers, Reggie Jackson, he leads the Clippers in scoring. He's got 8 points thus far in this one. You look at Paul George, he's got 5 points. He's 2 for 6 on this one, 1 for 4 downtown. Pat Beverly, he's got 3 points. He's 1 for 4 from downtown as well. These Clippers, they are putting up their shots from downtown, that is for sure. Clippers got the ball now. We're back in play. Beverly has it up top, gives it to George, and George is just fighting to get open on every possession. He wants that shot. He took that shot, and it's no good. Rebound by the Suns. So now we've got Payne in. He was huge in game 2. And he comes in immediately. Gets blocked, but I like his aggressiveness. It happens from time to time. But I do like the way that he's coming in and being aggressive. And the nice-looking shot, but no good, by Booker. And the Clippers throw it in. Oh, nice defense there. But you got to secure the ball. Okay, we'll take that foul there, an effort play. Again, this is a 1 point game. Clippers look to inbound it, and Zubac misses the dunk, but he's going to go to the line. I'd rather that than to get the and one. But yeah, if you're going to foul the man, then make sure he doesn't at least get that one off because he could have finished that one at the line. So certainly got to make sure if you're going to take the foul, don't even let that ball get near the rim. He misses that free throw. See if he can go 0 for 2 out there. And again, it's a 1 point game. And yeah, so far in this one, I mean, CP3 and Booker are off the slow starts, but the team still has a minute. So it's just a matter of time before these guys get going. And when they do, look out. Let's see, Zubac. He makes the second one, so he's 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Payne's going to bring it up. Guarded by George up top. Booker, he's looking. Guarded by Pat Bev. He puts the three up. No good. Mistimed his own rebound there. And George kicks it back in the corner for three. No good. They got the rebound. It's a 2 point game. And Booker has it. He's looking for his first points of the night. Oh, he's got to pull that one. I knew he was going to pull that one. No good. You wonder if that mask is bothering him out there. Okay, one of the uglier looking lobs I've ever seen, but it worked. So I guess that's all that matters for the Clippers. Yeah, you see on that play right there, I mean, Booker's pretty much adjusting his mask on defense. So I do wonder how much that mask is actually affecting them. Is it getting foggy on them? I've heard a couple players mention about their mask getting foggy and stuff. So, but yeah, right now the Clippers have a small lead with the Suns. They're doing an excellent job of keeping themselves in it until their star players start scoring, honestly. So someone's got to start going off for these Suns at the guard position sometime soon. But yeah, so far in this game, though, the Suns, they're 8 for 20 on the court from downtown. They're 3 for 6, so that's 50% from the 3 point line. And they've got 19 points in this one. And then you look at the Clippers on the court. They are 6 for 18 as a team, 3 for 12 from downtown. And at the free throw line, they are 6 for 8. And so right now, the Suns have only taken one free throw. Meanwhile, the Clippers have taken 8. But yeah, so far the storyline in this first quarter is Chris Paul and Devin Booker. They both have 0 points in this one so far. But yet, with all that being said, they're only down by 2. So the rest of the team is doing their part. And it's just a matter of time before these guys get going. I can understand CP3 having to play his way back into this one. The important part is to make sure that by the end of this game, CP3 is feeling comfortable, that he's back into it. So that way, by game 4, which we're hoping is the closeout game, we'll have the CP3 that we've saw before that. So this is certainly something that we're going to have to continue to monitor, of course. Jay in the Bay is in the house. What's good, Josh? Who you got winning tonight? I've gotten this series, the Phoenix Suns. I certainly want to see Chris Paul and company win. I personally cannot stand the Clippers, and so I am rooting for the Suns all out in this one. Definitely. But who do you have in this one, Jay and the Bay? I know you like to keep it neutral, but who you got winning this game? Yeah, most definitely. And so, I mean, I feel like the Suns, they're in a good place right now. Obviously, on the road, your best players right now, they're struggling. That's going to happen from time to time. We've seen that throughout the playoffs. Sometimes it's going to be a struggle. That's what happens with it, but it's just a matter of time. What I want from them is I want for them to keep shooting. Both Chris Paul and Devin Booker, I want to see them keep shooting, keep playing, keep your head up. Don't let it get to you. It's just a matter of time before they start falling, honestly. So that's what I want to see from these guys moving forward. All right, let's see what Jay in the Bay says because when he speaks, we listen. He says, I think the Suns will win the series, but the Clippers should win this game. It's a must win game for the Clippers. You're absolutely right. I mean, because the way that the Clippers have been playing this entire playoffs, it's just been they'll go down early in the series, whether it's 0-1, 0-2, but they will fight back, especially by game three. But the difference is they've got no Kawhi this time, and I'm hoping that Chris Paul in his return is enough to push these Suns to where they win this one on the road. And if they take game three, then it's pretty much going to be a wrap because once you go up 3-0, nobody comes back from that. And so I knock on wood, make sure that the Clippers aren't the first. That would make me extremely upset if they were the only team to do that. But certainly that is what it pretty much comes down to, is that this is an important game for not just the Clippers, but for the series in general. Because if the Clippers win this one, I believe we'll have a 6-7 game series. Clippers lose this one, we'll be done by game five at the very latest. So we will see. Let's see. Malik says, so far, Reggie Jackson and has had a great impact so far. I wonder if he can continue his hot streak. I absolutely believe that he is fully capable of this because this is what Reggie Jackson was born to do. This is what he wanted to do. The only problem was when he does that for a team, they're generally not going to be as good as they would be if someone else is the person that's probably leading the charge in terms of scoring. But this opportunity allows for him to play his style of ball, which is really shooting. That's what he likes to do. He's a shooter. They say a shooter's going to shoot, and nobody shoots more than Reggie Jackson does or wants to shoot more than this man does. And when he does, I mean, he is so confident with his shot. I mean, regardless, make or miss, you see the same confidence in him time in and time out. So he's certainly someone that I expect to continue to keep shooting and keep having such an impact. But both him and Paul George, they've been absolutely fantastic in this playoffs. I mean, they say when you have someone go down, they say it all the time in football, and I'm sure Jay Bay knows this for sure. When one man goes down, next man got to step up, and every next man for these Clippers have really stepped up in that absence. So absolutely, absolutely. But then again, if these Suns can win on the road, that does a lot to deflate a team and their confidence. So certainly hoping the Suns can do that. But right now the Clippers are up 27-21. Both teams are in the bonus. And Booker shoots from downtown. No good again. Booker has got to get on the scoreboard right now. Clippers have it. Rondo, he's looking. But yeah, we have got to get these star players for the Suns on that board. Excellent passing there by the Clippers. And they're up 29-21, an 8-point lead. And the Suns have got to respond here. Don't want to let these Clippers get too much confidence. You got to protect the rock. You have got to protect the rock here. You can't turn it over. You absolutely cannot. That's one thing you cannot do. Turnovers will hurt you, especially when a team is on a run like this. And so now you're giving them an opportunity to get a wide open three in the corner. No good. Suns get it, but man, this could have been worse than that. I mean, the Suns, they have got to make sure that they do not turn the ball over here, move her. And they've got to come out and have their guards get going soon, like as soon as possible. Booker, he's going, he kicks it out. Payne shoots, no good. And so that's what it's going to be at the end of the first quarter. Right now, the Clippers, they have an 8-point lead, 29-21. And so, yeah, these Suns, they have got to get more. Well, they got to get something from Devin Booker. Right now, Booker, he's 0 for 6 out there, 0 for 2 from downtown. So he certainly has got to score because this team, they really need him to get going scoring. If he gets going, that's going to rub off on guys like Payne. Chris Paul, obviously, I understand Chris Paul's situation. He's playing his way back into it. So he's going to have to continue to fill the game. And that's why they're going to need Devin Booker to actually go out there and start hitting these shots. He cannot, I repeat, he cannot go out there and score 0 points like he did in that first quarter. Absolutely cannot have that. And that's the difference in this game. While he's got 0 points for his team, him and Chris Paul both, you look at the Clippers and everybody on who's a starter for the Clippers, they've already scored in this one. Zubac's got 7. Reggie Jackson, he's got 8, shooting with extreme confidence. Paul George has 5, and he is also shooting with confidence as well. So you can feel it from the Clippers side. They're feeling comfortable with where they are right now. They're shooting quality shots. This is a team that's been down before, so they're not going to press the panic button. They're going to go out there, keep playing. They understand that they very easily could have won game 2. And so they're going to go out there and keep playing with this high energy, and the shots are falling for them. But for right now, for the Suns, they're going to want to wake up really quickly. You do not want to give this team too much confidence because this is just a team that's too experienced in the situation in terms of coming back in the playoffs. So you certainly don't want to make them believe that they can have this game, especially if you have a chance to go up on a commanding 3-0 lead. You want to take advantage of that. Aiden's doing absolutely fantastic in this one. He's got 10 points. I've seen a couple of times they try to feed him the ball and then they get turnovers like that. But for the most part, he's been pretty good in this one. 10 points, 8 rebounds. Crowder, he's hit 2 out of 3 3-pointers in this one. And so he's pretty much been the only one out there hitting threes for this team. So certainly these Suns need to wake up right now because we're on the road in an important game 3. Let's see. Malik says, definitely think the Suns are struggling with hitting their shots, but the ball movement has been great. Absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. And sometimes it's just a matter of, the shots not falling, especially my man Booker, going 0 for 6. What are the odds that that's going to happen in a game? It's just a matter of time. He can very easily, turn that around this second quarter and get it going. And then once he gets going, then look out. He's going to light it up. But we can't right now while Chris Paul is trying to figure, his shot out right now and get comfortable back in the playing shape. We can't have both him and Booker out there struggling at the same time, though. That is what we cannot have in terms of shooting. So definitely hoping that here in this second quarter, these Suns get off to a fast start. But hey, I expect that we're going to have a good one. So I expect for these Suns at some point to come storming back. And they're going to be led by Devin Booker on that charge. So certainly expecting that. And so let's see. Hetty says, and thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. You say same, that you agree with him. And me, perfect. Hey, great minds think alike, right? For sure. But yeah, certainly we all know, as long as Booker keeps being aggressive, that's what I want to see from him because it's so important for these Suns that they have Booker, especially right now, until Chris Paul can take some of that load off. But kind of like we saw when James Harden for the Nets, when he came back and, Durant still had to carry a great chunk of that load until a little bit more so, Harden, you can tell if he had more games that he was getting more and more back into it. And so certainly, you want to continue to keep winning while Chris Paul gets back into it so you can have him be himself if this goes 6 or 7 games, or if you're in the finals, you're certainly going to need him then. So definitely right now, Booker's got to take on more. And I do wonder about how much that mask is actually affecting him out there. I know some players is probably just because something so small like that might be enough to irritate you to where you're just a little off here, a little off there on defense. When you should have your hands out, you're over there adjusting your mask. Maybe it's a little foggy or something like that. So I wonder if that could be the case. But my man Booker, he has it, kicks it out in the corner. No good. Clippers got the ball. But these shots will fall. Like I'm telling you, these shots at some point are going to fall. Okay, it's going to be Suns basketball. And Booker's going to bring it up. Guarded by George up top. Let's see what Booker does. Kicks it in the corner. CP3 has it, gives it back. Booker kicks it back out. Shot goes up. No good, but they're able to get the offensive rebound. That's huge. And Chris Paul for the wide open three. No good, but they get the tip in. Nice tip in there. But yeah, these guys, it's just a matter of time before they get their shot back. Rondo has it up top. Nice defensive possession there. Chris Paul kicks it out to Booker for three, and he gets it to fall. Yes, that's what I'm talking about right there. That is, and just like that, we've got a 3-point game. See, my man comes in, hits a three, and all of a sudden, just a 3-point game. No need to panic. These Suns, they've got their 5-0 run right now in the second quarter, and all is good right now. That is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. And that's what we're going to need to see more of, honestly, because this team right now, they are 4 for 11 from downtown. So they're shooting about 30% from downtown. I expect for that number to improve as this game goes on. They're 11 for 29 out there, 36% shooting. That number is going to improve for the Suns. And that's for the Clippers. They're shooting 9 for 23 on the court. They're about 39%. And from downtown, they are 3 for 13. So they're about that 23% shooting right now. All right, so my next question that I have, tell me your favorite NBA team that didn't win the finals, so also include the year of that team, but you believe that they were arguably the best team that year. We've seen a lot of great teams that have gotten forgotten throughout the years that have been absolutely fantastic, whether it be because of injuries, we just never seen it come together, or maybe they just ran into another great team at the wrong time. We've seen so many different teams. There's so many that I can list off there. I mean, the first team that comes to mind for me would be perhaps the 2006-2007 Houston Rockets. I believe that's the year that the Miami Heat had won the championship. They had D Wade and Shaq. And then I wanted so badly. I mean, I'm a Lakers fan, so obviously I wanted my Lakers, but at that time we were not in a position to compete. So I wanted to see the Miami Heat with that roster go up against the 2006-2007 Houston Rockets at that time, led by Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming. I felt like they really just mirrored each other in terms of, dominant center, that they're, about the same in terms of, skills. And then you had Tracy McGrady, Dwayne Wade on the other side, back when D Wade, before the injuries and stuff. So, yeah, definitely going back in the old archive on rosters there, the 2006-2007 Houston Rockets would be for me. Let's see what Malik says. Malik goes with the Mags this year. Okay. The Mavs this year. Gotcha. Yeah, they definitely. Hey, the Mavs, I really wanted for them to beat the Clippers, and I got so happy when they took that lead. I thought it was going to happen, but it didn't happen. But I like what they have in place. Obviously, in the future, I expect them to make some big-time moves here. Porzingis has got to go. I mean, he's got to go. But I believe that the Mavericks, they're right on the cusp here, and they've got to make sure that this offseason they make it count. So that way next year they can take advantage. Because I like what Luka brings. I mean, he's exciting to watch. And so absolutely, the Mavs are certainly a good team. Absolutely. I mean, there's just so many teams that you can go with, though. But, yeah, definitely for me, I remember watching those Houston Rockets, and I was like, man, on paper, these guys match up just about even. So to see a 7-game series, that would have been fantastic. Let's see. Malik says that the Knicks for sure won the Porzingis trade. Yeah, they absolutely did. I mean, like early on in his career, and you see that from time to time, obviously another scenario that we're seeing right now is the 76ers with Ben Simmons. They got to get him the heck out of Philadelphia. They just have to. I mean, I don't care what they say. They have to make that happen. Otherwise, they're going to keep getting disappointed because he's just a liability. He's too limited offensively to make the impact necessary. So they need to trade him to a team that's got absolutely nobody, just wants to sell some tickets, but they have some pieces that will be obviously that can help the 76ers get to where they want to go. But in terms of having to deal with Simmons, oh man, that the man's lost his confidence. And it's one thing to have a bad game; it's another thing to lose yourself out there and lose your confidence. Absolutely. But right now, the game is still 29-26 with under 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. Chris Paul has it up top, gives it to Booker. Let's see if Booker can keep it going. Okay, and right now that's going to be a turnover. Clippers have it. Rondo's got it. Morris Sr., he passes it. George has it. He's been aggressive. Nice pass by George. Okay, way to draw that foul there. But yeah, excellent pass. And that's one thing about these Clippers. Both teams really, they do a fantastic job. Absolutely fantastic job of passing the ball. Hey Malik, we feel your pain, man. We definitely feel your pain. There are so many times where autocorrect, I'm like, I don't know what autocorrect is is thinking that I'm trying to say, but that is not it. Absolutely. But yeah, I take it autocorrect is not a fan of the New York Knicks. That is for sure. And right now the Clippers are up 30-26. And for the Suns, I like how both teams pass the ball, but honestly, it feels like in this game particularly, the Suns just need to make sure that they just don't go out there turning the ball over. They're doing fantastic right now, absolutely fantastic. I expect Booker's numbers is going to go up. Whether it be this quarter, if not this quarter, then very early third. But I think he's right there at the point where he's going to start hitting buckets. He missed that one. Rondo with the rebound, bringing it up. Oh, what a nice block. Okay, way to send a message. Way to send a message. And we've got a 5-point game in this one. That was an excellent block. And as for Chris Paul, there are so many ways that Chris Paul can impact the game. It doesn't have to be scoring. If the shot's not falling, there's other ways that he will impact this game. So this impact will be felt. And that's going to be a turnover. Again, we have a 5-point game. And so far in this one, in terms of shooting, for the Suns, Aiden is their leading scorer as he's got 10. Would not be a bad idea to feed him again right now. He can certainly use some more as he's 5 for 6. Crowder's got 6 points in this one. Booker, he's finally got 3 points on the board. Johnson's got 5 off the bench. Payne's only got 2. And that's a nice basket right there by the Phoenix Suns, a 3-point game. Clippers have the ball, up 31-28. But Reggie, got to watch Reggie. Nice. Nice turnover there. And that one's on Reggie there. I will say this, though. Ty Lue has been doing a fantastic job with this team, though. I will say that. They look so much more impressive, so much more engaged as a team out there, despite the fact that Kawhi went down compared to last year when they had Kawhi, obviously. And they didn't want to be in a bubble. I think if I was in a bubble, I'd have been the same way. I mean, like, I would have probably been the same way. I'd have been zoned out. Like, I don't even know if I want to be here. But certainly he's been doing a great job for them. And so, but Mito, let's see. You say Suns in 4. Okay, that's bold, but I'm right there with you. That's what I'm hoping for, honestly. And if the Suns win this game, guys, that's exactly what we're going to get. Because nobody comes back from 3-0. Everybody knows it. And hey, if you got a team down 3-0, just go ahead and finish it. You get to sit back, watch the Eastern Conference play a little bit. Everybody gets to relax a little bit before the finals get started. So yeah, I like that game plan. Go ahead and win it for the Suns. Is there anybody here that thinks that the Clippers are going to win? Just, speak now, because it feels like everybody's here is rooting for the Suns. So do we have anybody rooting for the Clippers? And again, this is the perfect time to thank each and every person for joining me here for the stream. Love it when you guys participate in the chat. That makes it a lot more lively here. It makes it's so much more exciting, honestly. And so I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to the stream and you're watching on YouTube, be sure to consider subscribing. That way whenever I'm posting videos. I cover football, NFL news as well. In addition to this, and when football season starts, I'll be streaming those games as well, college sports as well. And so certainly consider that. If you're watching through Twitch, consider a follow. That doesn't cost anything to follow. So certainly, but appreciate you guys for sure. And right now, the Clippers are up 33-31 with that last basket by the Suns, a 2-point game made by Johnson. Let's see. Morris Jr., he's looking. He puts one up. No good. Okay. Looks like the Suns' offense is waking up. Paul has it up top. Oh, excellent job, Johnson, on that one. We are tied up 33-33 halfway through the second quarter. Gotta love the energy that they're coming out with here in the second quarter. And right now, Rondo's got it up top. And my man Malik says that he is subscribed and got his notifications turned on. And he says the best, I'm assuming decision here. You know how autocorrect keeps doing them. But best decision ever. I'm telling you guys, autocorrect is trying to mess people up today. But here goes the unautocorrect portion of that. But yeah, I appreciate you most definitely, and so I'm going to be spending some time over this weekend just, studying some more stuff to try to help, make my channel look a little better, see what else I can do in terms of, perhaps making the graphics look a little better and stuff. And so certainly, I'm looking to grow as well as a YouTuber. So certainly keep that in mind, but I'm definitely going to focus on that this weekend and see what I can come up with. But I certainly appreciate you guys believing in me and joining me here for this stream. And speaking of believe, look at the Suns. They have taken the lead in this one, 35-33. So how about that? And right now, this is a team effort. And I absolutely love when you see these teams go out there and play like this. I mean, sometimes, stars, they're humans too. Sometimes they're going to have bad games. When you have a team that, despite the fact that your star, only has, say 3 points so far in this one, you're still going out there. And as a team, you've got the lead on the road against a team like the Clippers. That's big time. That's how you know a team is destined to do something. When you have the other players, as we call them, stepping up and playing as a team. Because that's exactly the kind of effort that you're getting right now from the Phoenix Suns. I mean, Johnson, coming off the bench, he's got 7 points. The way that he's driving to the basket, moving without the ball, and they're feeding both him and they're feeding Aiden wonderfully when those guys are cutting to the basket, giving it to them with the opportunity for them to use that momentum and finish at the rim. You've got, what Crowder was able to bring earlier in that first quarter with his 2 threes as well. And, Bridges, he's got 4. Booker's got 3. He's 1 for 8 out there. But when your team is playing like that, it allows you as a star to not have to force it so that way you don't end up going out there shooting about 2 for 17 on the night. No, you just feel like, okay, I'm just going to keep taking quality shots. I'm going to keep shooting, but I know my teammates, they have me on this one. And we're still very much in the game. So there's other ways that I can make an impact and help my teammates out, since they're the ones that, obviously are feeling it right now until he gets it going. And when he gets it going, they're going to toss it over to him, and let him do his thing. So but when you have a team that's playing like this, that's absolutely huge. And I believe that the Suns have showed that, especially in this series, being without Chris Paul, the first 2 games and what they were able to accomplish. And so that's the very definition of that. Absolutely. And let's see, Malik says, I have a suggestion for your channel. If you have Madden or 2K, I think you should start doing like rebuilding videos for different teams. Yeah, I've definitely been studying some other channels as well. I actually plan on utilizing, like when the next Madden comes out, I do want to do that as well. And so I've been thinking about how to go about that, doing more research on that. But certainly that is certainly something that I'm going to be doing. I've been trying to get like a better computer capture card, all that great stuff. Try to make that happen, doing some research there. But I certainly intend on doing that for Madden for sure. And so definitely, though, I appreciate it, though. That's an absolutely fantastic idea right there. Absolutely. And as a Patriots fan, personally, I definitely would love to see myself. I'm definitely planning on using the Patriots a good bit, especially if I play like online. I'll probably dedicate maybe, I don't know, maybe Friday nights or Saturday nights to just play like online, on and just like stream that, and then maybe throughout the rest of the week when I have some time, maybe 2 days out the week or something like that, 2 3 days, be able to do that as well, especially during the season. When there's not as much off-season news, as that's right now has been the bulk of my channel, just covering off-season news because you've got football news this off-season. You got the NBA free agency coming up soon. But once we're like, heavy football and basketball season, I'll have more time for other type stuff like, video gaming. So certainly. There's another familiar face I see here. Angel, hey, what's going on? Thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate you for being here. How's everything going? And right now we are tied up 35-35. The Suns and the Clippers. A little less than halfway to go here in the second quarter. And man, these teams have been playing as a team. The way that they're passing the ball, nobody's out there being selfish. And these are the type of teams that, everybody here is confident in terms of their ability to shoot and to be able to impact the game in other ways if they don't have the ball. Nice putback by Zubac, though, on that one. Let's see, my man Chris Paul bringing it up. And even just Chris Paul being out there with his ability to bring the ball up sometimes and let Booker, not have to focus so much on bringing the ball up, that's a big help as well. Crowder, no good from three. Jackson's bringing it up. Got to guard him. He's always looking for his shot. He'll take that foul. Let's see how he does at the free throw line. Let's see. Malik says that the Patriots are his dark horse team this season. Hey, the Patriots, they've got some pieces now. I know everybody wants to focus on the quarterback. It's the quarterback-driven league. A lot of people have strong opinions about Cam Newton and stuff, but I honestly, when it comes to Cam Newton, I feel that if Cam plays to his abilities to where I think Cam can do on his best days, and for me, Cam at his best is kind of like what we saw early in the football season before he ended up having COVID. That's what really threw him off after that. But another year in the system, I trust Bill Belichick, and if he thinks Cam deserves another chance, then I'm going to give him a second year in the system. Hopefully he's learned a lot more. He'll be better. And if not, we've got the insurance of knowing we've got Mac Jones, and if he's not ready, we've got some quality backups as well that we can consider, whether it's Jarrett Stidham, or as Bill Belichick calls him, Stid, or Brian Hoyer. But aside from that, I love what the Patriots have done across the board in terms of, I really love the defense. I really hope that Stephon Gilmore comes out there and plays another year for the Patriots. I mean, that would absolutely make me happy if he just comes out there and give us one more year. I've seen this before. I've watched a couple of my favorite players for the Patriots that were defensive backs walk because of money. So I understand the business aspect, but I hope he can give us one more year before he leaves us. I feel that we can make a really deep run this upcoming season. And we're going to surprise a lot of teams because the Patriots are going to be better than how one would perceive us to be on paper, especially if you just go off of the quarterback position. I feel that the rest of the team is good enough to make up for that. And right now we've got the Clippers up 36-35. Chris Paul, he's got it up top. There you go. You got to go to the free throw line, but we will take that. And that's what you got to do sometimes to get going. Go to that free throw line. Let's see. Angel says, how do I think CP3 is doing? Right now, I feel that CP3, he has to feel his way back into the game right now. Obviously, when you miss about a week, worth of time, you've missed a couple games and stuff. I feel that you got to come out there and feel your way back into it, and so I feel that he's doing okay, because obviously that shot, that's something that's going to have to come with a little bit of time. But if he keeps shooting and keep being aggressive, I feel that it's going to come. So he's not hurting the team And so that's all I can ask right now. He's not. I don't feel he's putting them at a disadvantage right now. His presence, his leadership, he's able to help them in other ways right now. I mean, he's got 6 assists, so he is contributing out there. So certainly, I am all for. I believe he's doing a good job right now. And the Clippers, they have the ball. The Suns are up 37-36. Nice looking defense. Beverly from downtown, no good. Suns with the rebound. Let's see. Mamito, you say, what team in the AFC West should the Chiefs fear the most? That is a very good question. I love this question. For right now, since, obviously Aaron Rodgers seems like the Packers don't want to trade him. If he goes to the Broncos, it'll be the Broncos. But with the roster currently as it is, it's them Chargers. There's something about them Chargers. Like it seems like over the last couple of years, the Chargers, they've always been close, but for whatever reason, they end up losing close games. But now they've got their quarterback in Justin Herbert. If they can stay healthy at the running back position, I think the Chargers can very much give them a run for that division. Now, the Chiefs still own that division, but, I can see it being a scenario where the Chargers get in as a wild card, this team, and they become a very real threat to the Kansas City Chiefs for years to come. So it's definitely them Chargers. That's a team that I'm certainly high on. But there's a couple teams, I could have went with the Raiders. I want to see what the Raiders defense is going to look like, but it's them Chargers. That's a team that I've been thinking about this entire offseason as a team that they've got a lot of nice pieces. And right now, the Phoenix Suns have a 1-point lead, 39-38. And yeah, there's something about the way that Pat Bev plays defense that you got to know where this man's at. Booker hits the first free throw. He gets the second one to fall as well. Suns with a 3-point lead. Clippers have it up top. Jackson, he has it, gives it to Paul George. Got to guard him. Excellent passes. George makes excellent passes. He's a fantastic passer out there. He either can get his shot, he can dish it off, but he does an absolutely fantastic job at being the primary playmaker in the playoffs. This is the Paul George that Kawhi wanted on the team. That guy right there. How he's playing right now. And CP3 pulls it. No good. But that's okay, though. I want him to keep taking quality shots like that until they start falling. And Paul George just muscles his way in there for that one. CP3 is going to bring it up. It's currently 42-41. And Paul, he goes. Nice pass. Kicks it back out to Paul, who shoots. And it's good. Nice. It feels good to see my man hit one. That is nice. Absolutely fantastic. All right, hey, we'll be here when you get back. For sure. But man, what a nice shot to see Chris Paul hit that one. That's what I've been waiting on. And that's why I said I want him to keep shooting. Speaking of shooting, Paul George shoots no good, but Zubac with these key rebounds, you can't give them second chance opportunities. Okay, thank you. Gets the rebound, but yeah, you got to limit those. In a game in which it seems like the defense is extremely important, in this one, you cannot give second chance points to a team like this. Chris Paul, he's blocked. Oh, nice rebound by Aiden. Absolutely fantastic. And there you go from downtown. Suns are up 46-42. Okay, this is a total team effort right here. But the Clippers have it up top. Reggie, he's going to want to shoot. That's coming at some point for Reggie. He's looking. Paul George has it. He's going to look to answer. He goes inside. All right. And man, what a game. 46-42. But yeah, they've got to make sure they take care of the little things here, For sure, they've got to continue to go out there, continue to play smart, don't turn it over, and keep playing team basketball. Continue to find the open man. For guys like Chris Paul, guys like Devin Booker, keep believing in yourself. Keep taking your shots. Because if I'm the coach, I'm telling them, look, you guys keep doing what you're doing. You're not taking too many shots to where it's hurting the team, but you're taking good shots to where we know you can get it going. So that is absolutely fantastic there. Absolutely. And look at the Suns, 48-42. Fantastic. Let's see. Mamito says CP3 getting his ring. I definitely want to be there for that moment. And this is coming from a Lakers fan, and I would not be any more happier than I could possibly be if I see CP3 get a ring. This is coming from a Lakers fan. Absolutely. And Angel A, I appreciate you. Yes, absolutely. And your brother. So I thank you both for the subs. Really do. I appreciate it. Let's see. Junior says, I can approve. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining the stream and being in the chat. I appreciate you here. Hope you're enjoying the game as much as we are here. And so certainly I expect for this one to be a good one like it was for game 2. But thank you so much. Excited to have you here. Hey, we'll be here when you get back. Thank you so much. And man, we've got a couple seconds here before halftime, but these Suns, they've had a fantastic second quarter in this one. They've outscored the Clippers so far in this one, 27-15. And so they've definitely had their way. Now, the first quarter belonged to the Clippers as they jumped out to a 29-21 lead in that one. And so the story in this one is that for both teams, it has been a team effort. It's not just one guy dominating out there. For both teams, it has been a complete team effort. As right now, the Phoenix Suns are up by 4, 48-44. Chris Paul is bringing it up here. And we've got just about around 20 seconds remaining here. CP3 has it up top. Let's see what he does. Nice pass to Johnson. Oh, man, terrible results on that one. So now they've got to play defense. George goes inside. Oh, man, with the slam, with authority. Yeah, that was way too easy. Way too easy on that one. They inbound the ball. Just heaves it up. All right, and there we go at the half. The Phoenix Suns host a 2-point lead in this one, 48-46. I mean, what a game it is. You had the Clippers jumping out in the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, you had the Phoenix Suns jump out. So, oh, man. Let's see. Malik says, sadly, I got to go, but I look forward to being here for my newest live stream. Hey, I appreciate you. Definitely, stay tuned. Certainly, I know I'm going to be taking Friday and Saturday off to just, try to work on improving my channel, look at some more ideas and stuff to try to continue to grow there. But certainly appreciate you guys. And you guys will be notified, when I put my next live stream up. It'll either be Sunday or Monday, one of the two. Sunday, it'll be kind of up in the air up until Saturday. I'll know more then, but certainly that's around the time that I'll be looking to have my next live stream. But thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Yeah, I'll for sure be doing the Monday stream for sure. I might be doing Sunday as well, but for sure I'll be back here for Monday. Absolutely. Nice. All right. Hey, thank you again for joining the stream. Appreciate you and looking forward to seeing you next time. And yeah, what a game it has been so far in this one, 48-46. But the big story in this one has got to be the return of Chris Paul in this game. Everyone was wondering, how is Chris Paul going to look? And in the first half, he certainly came out slow in terms of shooting, but he has had his presence felt in terms of distributing the ball out there, being a playmaker, setting teammates up. He's got 8 assists in this one, as well as 2 steals as well. And so his plus minus is +7 in terms of his impact on the court. He's got 7 points as well. And so he's been able to draw some free throws. He's 2 for 10 on the court, 0 for 3 from downtown. So obviously, in terms of the shooting, he's got to shoot his way back into it. But with that being said, it's just a matter of time before Chris Paul gets his shot back under him. And when he does, the Suns are going to be a better team because of it. That is for sure. So I want to see him and Booker keep being as aggressive as they are right now. I feel like, as long as they're able to go to the free throw line here and there, it'll all balance out because the rest of the team is doing a fantastic job of keeping them in it. Across the board, Booker, he's also 2 for 10 on the court. He's 1 for 4 from downtown, but he's also got 7 points. He's got 4 rebounds. He's got to make sure that he is cautious with those turnovers. He's got a pair of turnovers right now. Certainly don't want him turning the ball over, but he's doing a good job as well. And it's just a matter of time before his shot starts to fall as well. But I certainly see the right body language from these guys in terms of being aggressive and taking good quality shots that I know that they can make. Bridges, he also has 7 points in this one. He's 3 for 4, so very efficient with his points tonight. His plus minus is +6 on the court. Aiden, he's got 10 points, 6 rebounds. So he's definitely, his presence is felt. The way that Aiden, as well as I should say Johnson, who's got 7 points as well in this one, the way that they're able to attack the basket, and then you have guys like Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Bridges feeding them the ball. They're absolutely doing fantastic. Absolutely with that. So I love the way that they're feeding those passes. So they are absolutely doing a good job of getting quality shots inside and taking advantage of their athleticism inside the paint. So I'm certainly loving that from what the Suns are doing. And as a team, they are 19 for 46 out there on the court. So they're shooting about 42% on the court. From downtown, they are 5 of 18, shooting about 29% and 5 from 6 from the free throw line. So they are out there playing good, but they're playing good defense as well. I've seen a couple possessions in which they played some really impressive defense. Just make sure that you continue to rebound better, because right now in terms of rebounds, the Clippers are running as the Suns have 22 rebounds and the Clippers have 27 rebounds. So certainly you want to try to win the rebound category as well and give yourself those extra opportunities, and more importantly, prevent the other team from getting extra opportunities. Now, when it comes to the Clippers in this one, on the court, they are 15 of 41 shooting. And so they're about that 36, 37% shooting range. And from downtown, they're 3 from 17. So it's not falling for them downtown. So if you're the Clippers, you got to feel like, hey, these are threes that can fall for us at any given moment. You've got Paul George out there with 13 points, 5 for 14 on the court, 1 for 6 from downtown. Then you've also got Zubac. He's got 11 points, 12 rebounds in that one, and 2 blocks. Reggie Jackson, he's got 9 points. I expect Reggie will start going off more here in the second half, because he's someone that certainly has an extremely confident shot, and he loves to pull up and pull shots. And so I certainly expect that he's going to be more involved in the second half. But this has been an absolutely wonderful game, seeing the way that, it's a distributed effort out there on both sides, offense and defense. So absolutely fantastic to watch for sure. Let's see, Junior. Hey, you agree with me? It's a good game so far, most definitely. I mean, after we saw game 2, I'm unsure if you were able to see game 2, but if you saw game 2 and the way that game ended, now that was a game right there. And just to see these two teams again, the way that this is shaping up, all it takes is for both of these guys to get hot around that end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter type of thing. And we very well can end up with a similar type of game in this one here in LA. But this is so huge for both teams. Absolutely huge. I mean, for the Clippers, you want to win on your home court. You certainly don't want to be that team that goes down 0-3, because that's like you never come back from down 0-3. You just don't do it. And so the Clippers understand what this means. And so if they're going to go out there and win this one, it's going to be because Paul George, who has 13 points, he's going to have a stretch like he did last game where he goes out there and he starts hitting these buckets and catch fire. Obviously, make your free throws at the end of the game. That's an entirely different scenario. But in terms of just production, Paul George and Reggie Jackson for these Clippers, those are two guys that can score at will whenever they want to for them. And obviously, Morris Sr., if he can get going, you know how he is. He's streaky from downtown. So certainly can't forget about him as well. Then you've got Terrence Mann, what he's able to provide, as well as, providing that spark as well. So they've certainly got a team of guys, and they're playing as a team. So right now, both teams, they have to feel good with where they're at. They understand, like, hey, they can easily take momentum with this game if shots start to fall. But for both of these teams, shots aren't falling, but they're doing a good job of still getting, buckets and playing great defense and playing as a team right now. So that just speaks to both teams, and this is how they've gotten this far in the playoffs. They're both resilient out there, and it shows. So certainly, this is absolutely a fantastic game. I mean, at the half, the leading scorer in the entire game has 13 points, and that honor belongs to Paul George. I mean, that goes to show, like the scoring is just about it's really being distributed across the starters out there, and even the guys coming off the bench. There's no one person taking control in this game, and so that's the beauty of this game. This is a collective team effort, and so this is absolutely a fantastic one, and I'm excited to see what this is going to bring moving forward. And so now that it's halftime, let's see. All right, so I have another question for everyone. Okay, so the question that I have here is, if you could have any NBA player skill set, what skill set would you want to have? And by any player skill set, just saying you think of that player perhaps on their best day, you take away the stuff like if they get injured a lot, all of that stuff, take away their height, just purely their skill set in terms of being a pure shooter. It can be ball handling skills, just whomever. But what NBA player has the skill sets that you personally would like to have? For me, if I could choose any player that's playing right now, I would certainly want to play. I would certainly want to have the skill set of someone like Damian Lillard out there. It's either Damian Lillard or Kyrie Irving. Give me one of those two skill sets, because I believe if I had those skill sets, man, catch me on the court. That's all I'm saying. I mean, that definitely would be one of the two players. I know I went with two players there, but either one would have been my answer there. Dame or Kyrie in terms of an NBA player whose skill set I personally would like to have. Can't go wrong with those options. I guarantee you that. And so at the half, 48-46. Just wow, this has been a good defensive game. Absolutely good game. And I like the way that the coaches are also utilizing the bench in this one, because I feel like the bench has been able to provide good sparks as well in terms of what you're bringing in off the bench. These guys are able to keep the tempo going, so everybody's been doing a pretty good job. I mean, in terms of fouls and what they're looking like right now for the Suns, Crowder, he's got 3 fouls in this one. Aiden's got 2, Bridges has 2 as well. So nobody really seriously in foul trouble outside of maybe Crowder with 3. And then for the Clippers, Jackson's got 2. He's got 2 as well. So nobody's really in foul trouble so far in this one. In terms of free throws, though, the Clippers have been doing a fantastic job of getting to the free throw line, and that's pretty much helped them in terms of their, lower field goal percentage to make up for that, because they've been to the free throw line 17 times, and they've made 13 of the 17 free throws out there. So certainly, yeah, they've been able to attack, be aggressive, and draw some fouls in this one. As for the Suns, they really have only shot 6 free throws in this one. They're 5 for 6, so they can probably do a little better job of trying to draw some contact, especially to help guys like Chris Paul and Devin Booker get going and get some more points until they can find their shot. So that certainly would probably help them as well. And Aiden, I mean, I know he's got 10 points in this one, and he's leading the Phoenix Suns in scoring, but I feel like he's been a little quiet towards the end of that second quarter. So I'd like to see him get back into the mix like he was early in that first quarter. That definitely would bode well for the Phoenix Suns right now. But yeah, definitely a very good game, very evenly played game. Absolutely. And again, I want to take this time to thank each and every person who has joined me here on this stream. It means so much to have you guys join me here. I mean, definitely, I appreciate you guys. I'm continuing to work to make this channel a lot more enjoyable for everybody. So I appreciate the support. Those of you that, follow And, if you're watching on YouTube, that subscribes. That means a lot as well. Helps the channel grow. If you're watching on Twitch, definitely following, that helps as well. It doesn't cost anything to do that. So certainly those are ways to show your support. Liking the video as well. That helps too. Helps me get noticed by other people. So I definitely appreciate all of that stuff that you guys do. So thank you so much for that. And we will be getting ready for the second half soon in a pivotal game 3, in which I'm certainly hoping that these Phoenix Suns can go ahead and win today and take that 3-0 lead. That would be absolutely fantastic if they were able to do that. And I know that tomorrow, you have the Atlanta Hawks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. This will be game 2 after the Hawks went down to Milwaukee and they showed that, Atlanta, they deserve to be there. As a team, they are playing with such high team chemistry. I cannot preach that enough of how they played fantastic as a team. Trae Young, he went off, but the way that those post players were playing down low, getting those rebounds between Collins and Capella, 19 rebounds, 15 rebounds, absolutely outstanding. I mean, for them to go out there and out rebound the Bucks, that goes to show that they was just playing with a lot of heart. They went out there and they wanted it more, and it clearly showed. I mean, because they had a fantastic game. They were able to win in spite of the fact that outside of Trae Young, they really did not get much production out of the rest of their guards. I mean, I believe Herter had like 13, so I guess you can count that. But they really left a lot to be desired. But those post players, they stepped up, and they were huge. So absolutely, Atlanta played team basketball, and it paid off for sure. So that was an exciting game 1, and game 2 is going to be tomorrow down in Milwaukee. I expect that Milwaukee's going to go out there and even this series up. I'm rooting for Atlanta to win that one, but I think that this is a game that the Bucks will win at home. And for the Bucks, I feel like they're not, when it comes to Lopez, he's at the 3-point line way too much. He has to find some way somehow to not constantly be at the 3-point line, because he's such a presence when he's down low, especially in a matchup against the Atlanta Hawks where you have that height advantage. And if you really utilize it to your advantage, it could really be something that they can really use to have to really show the force their will on the Atlanta Hawks. And that's really what they're missing right now. I know when Portis Jr. came in, he was definitely a big boost for the Bucks, but you need your starter Lopez. There's no reason why the other team, centers are out there, combining for about 34, 35 rebounds as a team between their 2 starting forwards. And then you look at Lopez, and he only has 2 rebounds on the entire night. There's no way that should be possible, in terms of your center that's 7 foot. That's a lot taller than the other guys he's going against. So that shouldn't be happening. That just means that he's way out at the 3-point line, way too much. And so they need him to get down low on the block and just be that presence down low. Because when the few times that I've seen both him and Giannis on the inside, the defense doesn't know how to stop that, especially for Atlanta. That's a big ask to stop 2 7-footers inside. And so, yeah, that's something that's a coaching type of thing right there for Milwaukee. I mean, he absolutely has to be able to come out there and talk to Lopez and get Lopez to be on the block a lot more. That's certainly going to be important for Milwaukee if they plan on winning game 2 at home. But with that being said, though, I expect for that Hawks and Bucks series to go about 6, 7 games, probably 7 games most likely is what I'm anticipating. It's going to be a good one, I guarantee you that. And we will get ready for this third quarter to go on the way. All right, here we go. So the Clippers have it up top. Let's see, Terrence got it. He's looking inside. And he gets the shot up, and it falls. Okay, after good defense, he finds a way to get that shot to go up and in. And now he's guarding Paul. Let's see what Chris Paul's going to do, what CP3's got in him. Fresh out of halftime. Crowder's got it up top, gives it to Aiden. It's like I said, get Aiden back involved. He kicks it out. Booker's got it. Booker, he's dribbling, he pulls up, And it's good. What a way to come out the half. Great shot there by Booker. Okay. And he's got 9 points. And man, he's back down low. Oh man, I felt like the whole team was trying to rip the ball from him. Jackson misses that three. Suns have it up top. And Aiden, he goes to work. He puts it up. Nice shot. Absolutely beautiful shot right there. And the Suns, they are up by 4 early in the third quarter. But Paul George, he pulls up. He gets that to fall. George playing with such confidence. He is not rattled by the fact that he completely blew the last game. No, he has come out and his mind is still the same. His focus is still razor sharp. Bridges shoots, and that's good. And a foul. Okay, nice. Now we've got to finish. We've got to make sure that we capitalize on these free throws. Let's see if Bridges will capitalize on that free throw. But excellent job by Bridges to get that shot and a foul. Bridges puts it up, and it's good. 5-point lead by the Phoenix Suns. Got to watch these Clippers third quarters around the time where they really get going. And wow, man, he is able to get his shot inside. I mean, the way that he's able to just penetrate at ease. And Booker, he's bringing it up. Gives it to Aiden, who shoots. No good. Man with the rebound. Someone's got to stop him. Can't let him keep going to the basket like that. And he gets it to fall. Terrence Mann has come out of halftime like a man possessed, and he's looking to get to the basket. He's not settling. He's not pulling up. No, he's going directly under the basket with his ball handling, and he's finishing with his strength. CP3 passes it across. Crowder, he thinks about it. He's driving in. He pulls it. No good. Paul George kicks it up. Clippers pull it. No good. Yeah, but man, when he wants to get it, when Terrence wants to go inside, he gets it. CP3 has it. He pulls it. No good. The Clippers host a 1-point lead. And Zubac just misses that. But man cleans it up. Terrence Mann with the cleanup. He is fired up. And he's certainly one of those guys that they feed off of his energy. When he gets going, he really gets the team going. And man, these Clippers, they are up. But how did Zubac miss that dunk? That was just – but Terrence Mann with a nice cleanup and putback. And he is fired up. And right now, we've got the Clippers up 56-53. And in terms of scoring in this one, Aiden, he still leads the Phoenix Suns in scoring with 12 points. Bridges, he's got 10 points. Booker's got 9. CP3, he's got 7 points, 9 assists. And Crowder's got 6 points. And then you look at the Clippers. George, he's got 15 points, going 6 for 15 out there on the court. Terrence Mann, he's got 10 points, but Terrence Mann has really come alive here in his third quarter. It's early, but this man, he has started something in his third quarter. Zubac's got 11 points. And so these Clippers, they're warming up right now. The third quarter is typically where this team starts going on their run. So they have got to make sure, if you're the Suns, that you can minimize the damage and get going yourself. Because both Chris Paul, Devin Booker, those guys, they need to get going in terms of scoring. And it needs to happen sooner rather than later to respond to the energy that the Clippers are now playing with. But what a game we've got so far in this one. It seems like they've been trading buckets. They've been trading quarters, actually. The Clippers came out and dominated quarter one. The Suns, they dominated the second quarter. And right now, early in the third, the Clippers are looking to take charge of the third quarter. A 3-point game. And in a game like this, it always comes down to making sure that you protect the ball. You cannot be the one to turn over the ball and stuff, And then fouls come into play as well, especially as the game continues to go on later on. And for the Clippers, they've shot 17 free throws. Zubac has shot 8 of those 17 free throws, going 7 for 8 with his free throws. And so, guys like Paul George, especially in the fourth quarter, drawing free throws is something he's extremely good at himself. But man, these Clippers, Terrence Mann, he's providing such energy out there on the court. These guys are going, they understand what it means. I mean, when your back's against the wall, you're going to respond and give it everything that you got. And that's exactly what these Clippers are coming out here in the second half trying to establish. And so this is going to be a nice, tough challenge right now for these Suns, especially, without Chris Paul being able to shoot at will at the moment. And so it's going to be on Devin Booker to try to get his shot going here in the second half. But yeah, basketball is a game of adjustment. So who can make the correct adjustment when it matters the most? And now the Suns are bringing the ball up. We're back in action here. Chris Paul has it. Guarded by Mann. Crowder has it up top. Oh, nice lob to Aiden. But Aiden kicks it out. I felt like he could have went up with that. No good. And they're saying that that's going to be Clippers basketball. I felt like Aiden could have went up with that one. I understand he passed that one. I felt like he could have probably muscled his way up and at least drawn a foul on that one. Clippers have it. Reggie Jackson's got it. He's always looking to score. Oh, what a nice pass. Out of bounds, but an absolutely beautiful pass that was. Reggie knows they had that one. Reggie knows that. Let's see what CP3 and company can do. Bringing the ball up. CP3 tries to throw up a lob to Aiden, but that doesn't work. Clippers with the rebound, bringing it up. Paul George has it, kicks it across to Reggie Jackson. Jackson, he turns on the Jets. He puts it up, and the floater, it falls. And the Clippers are up by 5, 58-53. And Booker, he's bringing it up. Oh, man, and the turnover. Is it going to be Clippers ball? What a defense by Pat Bev there. These Clippers, they have turned it up a notch defensively. Wow. Hey, welcome back. And yeah, hopefully the Suns, I'm hoping they can win this game. I mean, it's obviously going to be anybody's game, but man, like Devin Booker's got to step it up now. They are going to need for him to get going because the energy that Terrence Mann is bringing for the Clippers, yeah, they need someone on the Suns that can match that right now. And Jackson with a nice basket. Oh, man, it is 60-53, a 7-point game. Yeah, now it's the time for someone to get going. CP3, someone. And the Suns, they're moving it around. Aiden has it. Kicks it out to Paul. Paul, he's dribbling. He puts it up, and it's good. Clutch. Could not come at a better time. Because, I mean, you had the feeling that these Clippers, they were getting on a run. So that's a big-time 3 right there. And now the foul on Booker. But we've got a 4-point game in this one, 60-56. This is one of those hard-fought games. But Terrence Mann has provided such a spark for these Clippers. His energy, the way that he's relentless at getting to the basket, it's not settling. Absolutely fantastic. And now George, he goes inside. And these Clippers, they are not settling for shots. They're taking high-quality shots. They're no longer falling in love with the three-point shot. They are like, okay, if it's not falling, we're going to attack the basket. and take quality shots. Meanwhile, the Suns are just struggling to try to get to the basket. Bridges, he passes to Aiden. Aiden throws it up, no good. George with the rebound. Beverly, he thought about it. And there we go. And so now Booker's going to have to come out. Oh, man. Well, now's the time for CP3 to really take over. This is what we wanted him back for. So now would be a great time for him to start hitting some shots and get some momentum, because he can certainly provide that momentum. Man, what a game this is. And the Clippers, they have it up top. George, he has it. Oh, Zubac with the throwdown. That was nasty. That was nasty. An 8-point game. Yeah, it'd be a good time for these Suns to start responding. Crowder has it up top. Chris Paul, he has it. Let's see what he does. They can really use a spark. He puts it up. No good. It's not falling. And Terrence Mann, he throws it up. Oh, man. Yeah, they certainly can use Chris Paul to start hitting these shots now, especially with Booker out of the game. These Suns can certainly use a spark to try to respond to the energy and the run that these Clippers are on right now. Because the Clippers are getting everything, and they're getting it inside. And honestly, if you ask me what's the difference right now for the Clippers, is that they finally decided that they're going to stop trying to shoot threes all day, and they're going to go in and force the Suns to have to stop them, either draw a foul or get the basket. They've made up their mind. They're going inside to finish, because I'm seeing countless players here for the Clippers go inside the paint with ease inside. I'm talking about with ease. Like, it started with Terrence Mann coming out of halftime. He was able to go in there about 3 possessions in a row and just go up under the basket and get his shot. And then you saw Paul George. He didn't pull up this time. He kept penetrating and going to the basket. Reggie Jackson, same. Everybody's just going inside the basket. So these guys have got to cut off the penetration of the Clippers in this. Yeah, these Suns, they've really got to step up. This is game 3. If you thought that the Clippers were going to lie down and let you just take this game at their home, you've got another thing coming. But turnovers, they will hurt you, so you cannot turn it over. And right now, it's currently a 10-point game, and the Clippers are in a bonus. So now would be an excellent time for these Suns to get going. Because right now in the third quarter, the Clippers have outscored the Suns in this one 20-8 in this third quarter. And Morris, he's coming in the game. Yeah, because like I said before, the third quarter is where the Clippers, they love going off in that third quarter, especially third quarter of game 3. And George comes and takes it just like that. He literally comes and grabs the ball, turns around, and shoots the three with such confidence. Wow. Chris Paul has it. Passes it to Johnson. Oh, man, come on now. Come on now. Man, too many mistakes in this one. Way too many mistakes against a team like the Clippers. If you're going to beat them at their home, you're going to have to bring it. You've got to be on your A game. And this is far from the Phoenix Suns A game right now. It's 13 points. So I want to see these Suns play with some high intensity throughout the rest of this quarter. And let's cut this down. And Paul George again. No good. Crowder with the rebound. Now they've got to get going now. Okay, way to secure the rebound, Bridges. Let's take advantage of this second chance opportunity. Terrible shot. Terrible shot. No, no, no. Cannot have that happen. A 13-point game. And Booker, he's getting ready to come back in. His team desperately can use him. But he's got 7 points, though. He's got 4 fouls, so Booker has got to be smart here. Absolutely has to be smart. He can't go out there making dumb fouls, for lack of a better word. He's got to be extremely intelligent out there, especially on that defensive side of the ball. Guarded by Terrence. Turns it over. You can't turn the ball over. You're already down by 13. And Terrence, man, with the cleanup. He's like a one-man cleanup crew down low. I mean, you cannot let them get these second chance points because they're really killing you with these rebounds. And then and Booker throws up a prayer because that wasn't going in. He just threw it up there. You can't turn it over and you can't foul on defense. All right, Suns get the rebound. Booker, he's bringing it up. He passes it. Gets the foul. Oh, man, and right now, everything that could go right for the Clippers has been going right so far. They find themselves with a 15-point lead in this one. They've had a strong third quarter. But, man, these Suns, these last 3 minutes, they have got to find some way, somehow. DVA Mechanics, thank you for joining the stream. Appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying the stream and hope you're enjoying the game. Certainly glad to see you back again. Appreciate you. Hey, welcome back. Glad to have you back. Glad to have you back. Disappointed. Yeah, I am really disappointed in the Suns right now. I mean, I was hoping that Chris Paul coming back with me, that they'd come out with some vengeance. But right now, they need someone to get it going in terms of it's got to be either Booker, it's got to be him or Paul, maybe Payne, but they need someone to get going. But the way to get back in this, they certainly have to go out there and they have to find some way, somehow, to really cut this down as much as they can before the end of this third quarter. Get a little momentum here, something positive. Let's try to have this at least within 8 points by the end of this third quarter, something like that. That'd be nice. But, yeah, the way that these Suns have been playing since halftime is just, yeah. Because right now in this third quarter, the Clippers have outscored the Phoenix Suns 25-10. That's right, 25-10. So what that tells me is that right now the Suns, they're trying to play catch-up basketball. They're trying to do too much. They're not taking comfortable shots on offense. But on defense, they're not stopping anybody from getting inside the paint. Because the Clippers from downtown, they're only 4 for 20. So they're just shooting 20% from downtown. But what's changed for the Clippers is that they've decided as a team that they're going to continue to shoot on the inside. And they are 26 of 59 from shooting inside and shooting at 44%. And so they've focused on getting close to the basket, getting high-quality shots, or either getting a foul. And they are doing a fantastic job of it. I mean, they've got 19 free throws that they've shot in this one, made 15 out of 19. You look at the Suns, they're only 6 for 7. So they're not even drawing free throws in this one. You look at their field goal percentage. The Clippers, they're 44%. 40%. You look at the Suns shooting about 38%, which would not be as bad if it wasn't for the fact that the Clippers are out rebounding the Suns 36-29. So the Clippers, they're getting a lot more possessions and second chance points, a lot more than the Phoenix Suns. And so when you add all of that up, and yeah, this is why we have the Clippers up by 13 in this one. I mean, Paul George, he's got 20 points, so he's consistently been that guy that he's been over the last 7 games, especially for these Clippers. He's got 20 points here, going 8 of 21 on the court, and also 10 rebounds. And then you look at Terrence Mann, he's got 12 points. He's been a tremendous boost for the Clippers here in that third quarter. So you look around and say, who can get it going for the Phoenix Suns right now and change this all around? You know, you want to look to Chris Paul, his leadership. He's been in some games. He's witnessed some comebacks. So he certainly is someone that you're going to have to lean on in a game like this on the road. You know, but they cannot go out like this in the third quarter. Absolutely cannot. These last 2 minutes and 37 seconds is going to be absolutely huge. They have to find some way, somehow, to will themselves back into this game. And it only takes a couple big shots to fall. Because I promise you, if Booker goes out there and he hits 2 threes, and then maybe Chris Paul gets a bucket or someone else, you know, gets a layup with that as well, and they make some stops, this team's going to be right in there, and they're going to start feeling confident, and then we're going to see this game change again. But right now, the Clippers, they've stolen the momentum. They're at home. Their back's against the wall, and so it's going to really take a lot of work here by the Phoenix Suns. They dug themselves into a hole right now in this third quarter. They've only scored 10 points as a team in this third quarter, and that's something you just cannot do in the playoffs, especially down at the Los Angeles Clippers. That's just a formula to lose right there, so you cannot have that happen. And as for the Suns, in addition to the struggles on offense, the fact that Devin Booker, he's got 4 fouls, he's got 4 turnovers. You know, so Booker's having a rough day right now. And so they've got it because, I mean, the way that the Clippers are guarding him, Terrence Mann's doing a good job. You know, there's also Pat Beverly as well. And so those guys have been playing tremendous on defense. So certainly we cannot take that away from them. And so Craig, he makes his first free throw. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2. Because these Suns, they really need these points here. And how they finish this third quarter can go a long way in helping them and trying to come back in this fourth quarter. Okay, he's 2 for 2. Now they've got to make some defensive stops. They've got to move with their feet. They've got to cut off guys who are driving because the Clippers are getting way too many shots inside the paint. Cannot let that happen. George missed that one, but that's just another example of him being able to go inside the paint. They've got to do a good job of making sure they don't let that happen. It's currently an 11-point game. All right, nice shot by Johnson. We will take that. I don't care who the hero is. That's what we needed. And right now, Phoenix is on a 7-0 run. Morris, he shoots from downtown. Yeah, he made that very capable from downtown. You cannot afford to be trading baskets right now. Booker has it. Let's see what they do. They go inside, get the nice quality shot, but I like the shot attempt, just not the results. Paul George has it. Got to get the ball out of Paul George's hands right now. Can't let Paul George get that shot. Got to secure the boards. Okay, there we go. It's an 11-point game. And these are some important time right now for these Phoenix Suns. Booker puts it up. Draws the foul. Okay. And that's what you do. If your shot's not falling, you be aggressive. Get some free throws. Because I'm telling you, this team was not shooting a lot of free throws. So they've got to be more aggressive and force, some of these calls. Booker gets that one to fall. 10-point game. Booker shoots that, and it's good. A 9-point game. Way to hit your free throws. Both teams are currently in the bonus. George up top. Got to play that defense. Don't let them penetrate. Don't let him penetrate. Terrence has it. Don't let him penetrate. Kicks it out. Morris can't let him shoot that three. Kennard, and it is no good. Big rebound there by the Suns. Let's see what we can do with it. Got to get a basket out of this. Have to get a basket. Nice pass in there. Booker from downtown. No good, but they get the offensive rebound, but they lose it. Oh, great steal by Booker. Kicks it out in the corner for Johnson for three. No good. But they're able to get the offensive rebound here somehow, some way. And nice finish by Booker. We've got ourselves a 7-point game. And this is what I'm talking about by it was extremely important for the Suns to finish out this third quarter strong. Absolutely. Suns need to step up. They need to step up, and they need to step up big time. Absolutely big time. Right now, the Clippers bring it up. Paul George has it. Got to stop him. I hate how the defense has been letting the Clippers have their way getting inside the paint. You cannot let this team do it. Can't let them penetrate. And they hit it from downtown for a three. Let's see if we can get something before the before the end of the third. Okay. We'll take that free. We'll take some free throws. Try to make this hopefully an 8-point game. All right, Johnson, I'm going to need you to go 2 for 2 out there. Johnson gets the first one. Okay. Gotta love when it goes in and out and back in. See if you can go 2 for 2 out here. All right, he's 2 for 2. George has it. He throws it up, and he gets it to go in. Wow. Wow. Paul George just, dang it. Wow. Wow, that's devastating right there. I mean, Suns are fighting so hard now to try to get back into this one. I mean, doing the best they can, but there's only so much you can do when your best player has just 13 points in this game so far, Devin Booker. And he's got 4 turnovers in this game, 4 turnovers and 4 fouls. So basically what you're telling me is that, he's basically helping the other team get to the free throw line. He's turning it over and giving them extra position, but he's just giving us 13 points. We need more from Booker, and we're going to need him a lot in this fourth quarter. Now, thankfully, Johnson seems to have stepped it up, especially off the bench with his 12 points in this third quarter to make it somewhat respectable. But 34 points for the Clippers here in the third quarter, we cannot, as a team, allow a team to score 34 points in a quarter. We just cannot do it, especially in this fourth quarter. They're going to have to play tremendous defense. And offensively, we're probably going to need the Phoenix Suns to drop about 34 points with some good defense to win this one. But, man, this is – wow, these Clippers, they came out, and you had to know that they were going to come out with their backs against the wall. I mean, these Clippers, they've done it all playoffs long. But, man, I mean, these Suns, I expected better so far. Let's see, Angel says Suns and 7. Hey, I definitely can see it coming down to that. I'm hoping that, that it doesn't go to 7 games because I really want to see these Clippers get put out sooner rather than later. But, hey, you may very well be correct. As long as the Suns win, I'll be happy. That's all that matters. Because for me, I just want to see the Clippers lose. That would make me happy. As a Lakers fan, that would make me happy. But, man, I mean, this has been an absolutely crazy game here at the end of the third quarter. And right now, the Clippers, they have a ton of momentum on their side. So that means the Suns are going to have to come out extremely aggressive. And I mean extremely aggressive. Okay, so my question here at the end of the third quarter, who is your all-time favorite NBA player? All-time favorite NBA player. Not necessarily the best NBA player, but your favorite NBA player of all time. Could be current, could be past, whoever would be your all-time favorite NBA player. Let me know. But man, what a shot by Paul George. And that just describes the entire night for the Clippers right there. And the fans, they're loving it. An 11-point game, 80-69. And the Phoenix Suns are currently up in this series 2-0. As we get ready for the start of this fourth quarter. And right now, when you look at what's happening, the storyline is this. It's simply, Chris Paul in his return, he's currently 3 for 13 on the court. He's got 10 points, 1 for 4 from downtown. Devin Booker, he's got 13 points in this one, 4 for 15, 1 for 6 from downtown. And then you look at the Clippers and what they've been able to do. Paul George, 23 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. His plus minus is plus 18. You look at Zubac, he's got 15 points, 13 rebounds. His plus minus is 23 out there. That's right, 23. And then you look at, Terrence Mann, he's got 12 points, 6 for 8 out there. So he's been very efficient with his shots. He's got 5 points as well, and he's provided such energy for this team. Reggie Jackson's got 13 points, but Reggie hasn't really had to do much on the offensive end because other guys have been stepping up for the Clippers, and they're just playing team basketball, honestly. So got to hand it to these Clippers in the way that they've played so far. But we'll see what happens here in this fourth quarter because it's not over. 11 points, that is very doable if these Phoenix Suns can come out and really start firing. But I'm going to need for these Suns to come out early and establish themselves. And right now, if it's going to happen, right now has to be the time where Devin Booker starts going off. So let's see. Booker brings it up top. Passes it to Johnson. Got to be careful with these passes. Can't be sloppy out there. Suns drive. Got to take a better quality look than that. Absolutely cannot be taking bad shots. And George, he has it. And they make that three. Wow. 83-69. And these Clippers, they are just feeling it. At home, too. They say when you're at home, it's a lot easier for the role players to step up. When you see shots like that, you got to understand that that's what they mean. With the crowd behind them, they just feel so much more empowered, so much more confident from out there. Now, was that a three? Even Kawhi is clapping. It's nice to see him out there. Wow, and the Clippers are up by 15. Suns have got to get going. Oh, what a pass. Too bad he couldn't handle it. They went back to him, though. Let's see what he can do. He throws it up, and it's good. Okay. A 13-point game. They're going to have to play defense. If they're going to come back in this, it's going to start on the defensive end. They've got to play defense and also rebound. Excellent passing by the Clippers, I will say that. Excellent passing by the Clippers. And wow. And these Clippers, they're coming out and they want this one. And George, he's got it. 3-point shot is good. Morris pitches in for three. And when it rains, it pours. Oh, man. Someone has got to do something on the Suns to get them back into this. A 16-point game. Wow. Let's see. Angel says, my all time favorite is Duncan. What a nice selection. Oh, Tim Duncan. Okay, yes, and he had a lot of great years with the Spurs. I mean, different eras depending on if he was the main man, but he was one of those players that he did not mind playing second to when Tony Parker was pretty much in his prime, and then obviously Manu Ginobili, and just the way that the Spurs played basketball in general, it was very selfless. But old Tim Duncan, absolutely a great player. When you think of him, you think of guys like Dirk Nowitzki, you think of guys like Kevin Garnett, in that era of basketball that they had. Obviously, Shaquille O'Neal down there in the post, so yeah, they had some great players down low in the post during that time frame, and he battled against the best of them. Definitely a tremendous player, that is for sure. So great selection with that. My favorite all time player is the late Kobe Bryant. Definitely, growing up as a Lakers fan, so obviously I got to see the Lakers play a lot, and so yeah, he definitely was my favorite. If I had to go with a second favorite player, I probably would go with. I could go with probably. I want to say the Denver Nuggets version of Carmelo Anthony or Tracy McGrady, prime Tracy McGrady as well with the Rockets. Like those guys as well. But man, these Clippers, they are on fire right now. 89 to 71. Wow. Oh yes, definitely. It was honestly his work ethic, the way that his mindset as well, the way that he was out there and he would will his teammates. He did so many inspirational things, and then to be able to see what he was doing with himself, post NBA as well, the impact that he had definitely was an inspiration. Totally agree. And right now the Clippers, they're up 89 to 73 with less than 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Chris Paul, I'm sorry. Hits a big three right there. Okay. That's what I want to see. 13 points. When you hit big shots like that, it does a lot for your team. But it doesn't mean nothing if you start trading baskets. So you've got to play that defense. All right, there you go. Chris Paul, he's bringing it up. Got to play great defense and keep scoring. It's going to start with defense. That's the only way you're going to get back in this. You can't trade buckets. And Paul inside, no good. But Aiden kicks it out. Johnson kicks it over. Booker, can he do it? No, he can't, but Aiden puts it in. Nice assist there to finish that. And it's an 11-point game. But the Suns have got to play defense now. All right, we've seen this earlier in this game in terms of going on 7-0 runs. The Suns are fully capable of going on runs, but they have got to play defense. They have got to. Let's see. All right, man, I'm going to go to sleep. You have yourself a good night. Hey, you have a great night. You take care. My next stream will be either Sunday or Monday, one of those 2 days, but definitely do, check my channel. And I should have that up in terms of my next stream. I know for sure I'll be streaming Monday, if there's something Monday. If not, then it'll be that Tuesday. But certainly Sunday will probably be my next stream. But for sure, it'll be the next stream, during that weekday. But thank you so much for joining, and you have yourself a great night. Yep, that you will. I appreciate you. And so here we go with the Clippers up 89 to 78. But right now the Phoenix Suns are showing some form of life here. They've been on a little bit of a run, and so that's big, but they're going to have to play defense. It's going to have to start on the defensive end, and it all starts with stopping Paul George. That's going to be priority number one. Second, you cannot let these Clippers continue to have their way. The way that they're going inside, even if they're not finishing inside, they're just breaking and penetrating the lane, and then they're either dishing it out to an open guy or something. You got to stop the penetration. Do your work early. Don't allow them to penetrate. Force them to go in areas that they're not comfortable at. But right now, the Clippers have been able to go wherever they want. And because of the strong, absolutely strong third quarter that these Clippers had, the Phoenix Suns find themselves down by 11. And right now, the scoring is just not happening coming from Paul and Booker. Paul did have that big three earlier, but they both got 13 points apiece, and they're both going to have to step it up if they plan on winning this one. So right now for the Phoenix Suns, it's going to start on the defensive end. Make sure that you don't give this team second chance points, all kinds of just, playing team basketball at this point. And for Devin Booker, he's got 4 fouls, so you can't do that. Can't be turning the ball over. He's got to be a lot smarter. Gotta leave. I can't watch anymore. Hey, I absolutely feel you there. I mean, this has been a tough one to watch because you know what these Suns are capable of, and you're just watching. You're like, any moment now, these guys can get it going. I mean, I like the little run that they're on right now, but they're gonna have to play defense right now. The way that the Clippers are playing, I mean, this is gonna be tough at their home too. This is gonna be tough. Less than 9 minutes to go, about 8 minutes and 50 seconds. But if it's going to start, it's going to be within the next 4 minutes of them playing. They're going to have to keep getting on the run, probably get on the run of about 15-2, something like that, But they're going to have to play great defense. Absolutely. And these Clippers, the way that they're shooting right now, that is going to be tough. Absolutely. But should the Suns come back, I'll be there to witness it. That is for sure. Either way, the Suns are in very good position since they're up 2-0, but if they can find a way to come back in this one and just steal this game, that would be absolutely fantastic. But they're going to have to force some turnovers from the Clippers, secure the rebounds, no turnovers on offense for the Suns, and they've got to take quality shots and make these shots. Now is the time where the shot has to go down. They have to. This is where I need Devin Booker to catch fire. Paul George has it. Okay, good stop on defense. Let's see if we can get a basket here or something. Chris Paul, he has it. Kicks it out for 3 for Crowder. There we go. Nice 3. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. 8 points right now. Got to keep playing defense. Can't let them score. Cannot let up. It's a 10-0 run, and I'm going to need for them to score another 10 consecutive points. Reggie Jackson, he has it. He hasn't shot much. He wants to, though. But he hasn't shot in a minute. He might be rusty. He puts up the shot. No good. The tip in, no good. And that's going to belong to the Suns. Okay. There we go. Chris Paul's bringing it up. It's an 8-point game. And Aiden with a nice pick. Kicks it out to Crowder. Paul's got it. Zubac's on him. So you know what that means. Time to take him to work. He pulls a 3. No good. Rebound by the Clippers. Had me on the edge of my seat there. I thought he was going to make it. Oh, man, and Paul George just lowers the shoulder, but not able to get it to fall. And right now the Suns are bringing it up. Booker, he's going to have to make something happen. Kicks it out to Paul, gives it back to Booker. Guarded by Zubac. You know what to do. He goes inside. Nice finish. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, now we've got ourselves a 6-point game. Let's keep it going. Keep playing defense. Apply the pressure. Don't let George attack the basket. Keep him from attacking the basket. Because when he does, good things happen for the Clippers. You can't let that happen. I'd rather he have to pull up and take that jumper. Oh, man, if Crowder can just get this one. Okay, now we talking. Now we are talking. Okay. And these Suns, they have answered here in this fourth quarter. Just when it looked like all might have been lost. This team is playing much better, but they must continue. Chris Paul inbounds it. Let's see if Aiden takes it. Booker, he's got it. Oh, man, you can't turn the ball over. You just can't do it. And they capitalize off of that. Turnovers will hurt you. You can't do that. No, you're too good a player for that, Devin. Too good a player. And George, he has it. Not George. Chris Paul's got it. Come on, CP3. This is what you do. He pulls a three. No good. And the Clippers with the rebound. Got to play defense. Nothing easy. And Jackson wide open. You just gave him that. I knew the moment it left his hand that he was going to make it. You cannot give Jackson something that wide open. And now we are back at an 11-point game just like that. As we are halfway through this fourth quarter. Yeah, you just can't do that. That was such a big steal. That was such a big rip right there. Because these Suns had such a good momentum going. And then for Reggie to hit the three the way that he did, oh man, that was absolutely tough to watch. Oh man, with 6 minutes and 2 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter, can the Phoenix Suns find a way to cut this lead down and put themselves in position to win this game? I mean, they was on a run. They had cut it down, but then turnovers, or in this case, the ball being ripped and then going the other way. That'll hurt a team. That will hurt a team. And right now, the Clippers with a 94-83 lead at home with the Phoenix Suns up in this series 2-0. Will the Suns find a way? If they are, that means that Chris Paul and or Devin Booker would have to get going in order for them to have a chance at this point. The others have done a fantastic job, though. But, man, those two have got to step up big time in the last half of this fourth quarter. And defense. It's all going to start with defense. If this team's going to come back, the Suns have got to play great defense. They've got to play superb defense. They've got to force turnovers, force the Clippers to make bad shots, and they cannot bail this team out or give them second chance opportunities. Yes, but what a game this is. I mean, right now, the Clippers, I mean, I will say this for the Clippers, though. They have been playing fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'm clearly rooting for the Suns to win this one, but the Clippers, they have been playing this game absolutely wonderfully. I mean, Paul George, it starts with him setting the tone for his team with 25 points. And then Terrence, man, he's got 12 points. But when he got those points in the third quarter, that really elevated this Clippers team because this was at a point in the game where both teams were still trying to find their shot. But he was able to go out there and really elevate the Clippers to where they was able to go on this run to where now they have this 94-83 lead. So his points were extremely important. You add, Kennard with his 9 points, Morris with his 8 points as well. Reggie Jackson, he's got 18 points. Zubac's got 15 and 15 rebounds. I mean, matter of fact, Paul George, not only does he have 25 points, he's got 14 rebounds as well. So he's out there rebounding as well. So yeah, this entire team, they've been outstanding. Matter of fact, all of their starters in terms of plus minus, they're pretty much, the five guys they got on the court, they're all in the positives in terms of the plus minus. So they're just out there making plays. And as for the Clippers, I mean, Paul George in his return, he's got 13 points. I do not blame him whatsoever for this. Coming back, you missed a week. You got to get your feet back under you. I understand that, so I'm not asking the world of him in this game right here. I just hope that he's able to get his feet under him and be a bigger factor for them in game 4, which I fully anticipate that he will be. But Booker, I mean, we needed more out of Booker in this game. Booker puts up the shot, no good. Yeah, we can't have that from him. We cannot have that from him. Reggie Jackson has it up top. Let's see what Reggie does. He pulls up for 3. No good. Paul with the rebound, bringing it up. And he lobs it. It's not there. The Clippers are doing an excellent job in the second half looking for those lobs. But man, what a performance by the Clippers in this one. And for the Suns, I mean, Aiden is the leading scorer. He's got 16 points. Devin Booker, he's got 15 points, but he's 5 for 21 out there. So he's definitely been struggling, having a long night. 4 turnovers, 4 fouls so far. Johnson, he's been pretty big off the bench for 12 points. He tried to provide some type of spark towards the end of that third quarter, beginning of the fourth. Um, Chris Paul, he's got 13. Bridges has 10. Crowder's got 9 points. And so, yeah, just about every starter's in double digits in terms of scoring, but nobody's really taking control when it comes to scoring for the Phoenix Suns. Jackson brings it up. George has it. Zubac has it. And George, he is fighting hard to get off these picks and screens. So Crowder's going to be coming out. Yep, and Crowder is not too happy about that foul. Yeah, these Suns, they're not going to be happy as a unit with their performance today. I mean, this has been kind of tough to watch because they're capable of so much more. So much more. And man, Crowder has fouled out. He's visibly angry, and I certainly get it. I get it. And so the way that these Clippers have played, they deserve this one. And this is what the Clippers do. I mean, they get down in the series in the playoffs, and then they get it going when their backs against the wall. It's like a different level of focus. It's almost like lulling your opponent to a false sense of belief that you're going to lie down, and then you come up and start attacking with a vengeance that they're just shocked that it came. So the Clippers that we see tonight, this is the Clippers that we're going to see throughout the rest of the series. And so these Suns are going to have to step up the next time they're on the court. Bridges, he pulls it. No good. Paul with the rebound. Jackson has it up top. And again, it's a 13-point game. Jackson puts it up, no good. Paul, he's got it. Kicks it out. Paul gets it back. And Paul, he's got it. He puts it up. No good. Yeah, the Clippers, they came out ready for this one. Game 3 has been all Clippers. And Paul George for 3, no good. Suns with the rebound. And then the foul. Well, I mean, when it comes down to it, the difference in this one is that the Clippers, they made the appropriate adjustment. They realized their three-point shots was not falling as a team at halftime. So they had that discussion, and then they came out the second half and they attacked the inside. They started like really just taking a lot of shots from inside the paint and just, drive into the lane, getting good quality shots inside, shots that they are fully capable of making. And quite frankly, the Suns, they didn't try to stop them. They didn't try to stop him. And Bridges, he pulls it. That's good. That's a three-point shot right there. 10-point game. And George, he has it. He's going to go inside. He's been doing it all night, kicks it out to Jackson for three, and Jackson gets it to fall. I mean, a shooter's going to shoot. And the Clippers are up 99-86, a 13-point game. And Aiden with a nice put in, making it an 11-point game with less than 3 minutes to go. And Jackson puts it up. Too easy. Way too easy. Way too easy. Chris Paul's bringing it up. And he loses it. Yeah, if I'm the coach, I might consider just go ahead and, pull him the rest of the game. He's played good. We're going to need him next game. Don't want to risk anything. Clippers clearly got this one. So now's the time to go ahead and pull everybody. Let's just get ready for game 4. But, man, the Clippers came out and they've made a statement. 104-88. Wow, that's all I can say. It's just wow. This is not how I anticipated the return of Chris Paul to go. As we have 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining on the clock in this fourth quarter, it has been all Clippers since halftime. There has been moments where the Suns, twice they went on like a 7-0 run. I think one time a 10-0 run. But every time they went on a run, the Clippers came back stronger each time as a team. Whether it was, Paul George being able to go inside or kicking it out, to Reggie Jackson outside for three. I mean, because Paul George, he's got 27 points in this one. Reggie Jackson, he's got 23 points in this. So the two of them, they've been leading the charge on offense for the Clippers. Then you add what Terrence Mann brought with those 12 points and 5 rebounds. And when he brought it, the timing in which he brought it was so huge. Zubac, he's got 15 points in this one, 16 rebounds. He's got a steal, 2 blocks. His plus minus is plus 28. And so, yeah, these Clippers, they were just out there on a vengeance today. They understood the situation. Their backs was against the wall, and they've come out firing, and so definitely got to give them credit where credit is due. But as for the Phoenix Suns, I mean, Aiden, he's their leading scorer. He's got 18 points, 9 for 13. And so he's certainly been efficient. But I see that the Clippers, they've done a fantastic job of game planning on how to stop those lobs. Wasn't going to let that easy stuff, be there this time around. So basketball is a game of adjustments. And the Clippers, they came out and made the right adjustments here in game 3. CP3 pulls it. He gets that to fall. 14-point game. Clippers have this one in the bag. And right now, Jackson's bringing it up. And yeah, these Clipper fans, they love the way that their team responded in this one. And Pat Bev, he puts it up. Yeah, and these Clippers, they're feeling it. They are feeling it. And that foul is going to be on Terrence Mann. So game 4 is going to be pivotal. I mean, can the Phoenix Suns rebound and then take game 4? Or will the Clippers look to even it up 2-2? But Pat Bev, I mean, his defensive energy is contagious out there. He did some things early on that I feel like really bothered Devin Booker early in the game, and Devin was never able to become a real true factor in this one. And so his defensive presence was huge. And Paul George, way to respond. After the epic choke that we saw in game 2, he responded in game 3. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, right now is the time for these guys to come in, try to get some points, run out the rest of this one. And right now, the Clippers are up 106 to 92. Great opportunity for those on the bench to put up some points here and just get a feel for playoff basketball. So, wow. So yeah, we could expect for this series to be 2-1. Suns still lead the series. At the end of the day, this loss right here is only a small deterrent at the ultimate goal. Especially if they can go down there and win in Game 4. I expect that Chris Paul is going to come out. He's going to look a lot better next game. You have to assume Devin Booker's going to be a lot better offensively as well. So hopefully that will result and these two and the Suns coming out looking a lot better in Game 4. But you got to give it to the Clippers as they came out and they performed tonight. That is for sure. And so, but with that being said, though, the final score of this game, the Clippers, they won 106 to 92. And so they certainly went out there and established their presence. They played some tremendous quarters in this one. The only quarter in which the Clippers did not play necessarily well was the second quarter, but they've dominated the first, third, and fourth quarter. And so you got to give it to them. But with all that being said, thank you all so much for joining me for this stream. Hope you enjoyed the game. If you're like me, you wanted the Suns to win. I know this was a tough one to watch, but if you're rooting for the Clippers, then I'm sure that you're happy. But the good news is there will be a Game 4, and there will be an opportunity for these guys to come out, the Suns, and to try to just, forget about Game 3, keep the confidence going, and respond. You've got to respond. We knew the Clippers were going to come out firing, but this is a great opportunity here to go down there in Game 4 and just basically hit them in the mouth and let them know, look, we're here because we deserve to be here, and we plan on taking this series. Because that's the only way you're going to knock them out. You've got to come firing at these Clippers. But with all that being said, thanks, everyone, for joining the stream. Hope you enjoyed it, and I thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe so that way the next time that I do a live stream, you'll be notified. Definitely press that notification button. And if you're watching on Twitch, you can press that follow as well if you'd like. But with that being said, it's been a pleasure speaking with you guys, and have a great night, everyone, and see you guys next time.